Hot mic.
Hot mic. So, yeah, the headline is Easter lands on 420. Will you be doing more than just smoking your meat?
Smoking on that heat.
What a weird time, right, for 420 to land on Easter Sunday.
I feel like it usually is around that time. I mean, isn't it?
Doesn't it give a little more meaning to the Most High?
I guess so.
Hey, would that be an inappropriate shirt to wear to church on 420?
What is it going to have a picture of Jesus?
Jesus, yeah.
With a spliff?
Little puff of smoke.
Yeah. I mean, he was from an area where they like to participate in hookahs.
Hey. I don't know, man. I've heard bad things about the hookah. Is the hookah bad for you?
I mean, it's tobacco, so it's got or shisha or whatever. It's like a form of it's smoke in your lungs. It's bad for you.
How many packs of cigarettes is that equivalent to the hookah?
I have no idea. I think I've only done it once.
Is it worse than a vape?
I would imagine it is, but we don't know what the hell is in vapes.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know what's in there. That's why I don't do it.
I don't do vapes. They hurt my throat.
I'd rather have a good cigar.
Yeah, I'd rather have the flower. None of these concentrates.
What's up, Mario Cavazos? Thanks for joining, man. We're here with DJ LG today. All producer show, man.
All Producers Friday.
There you go. Buenos dias, gentlemen. He said, only smoke that is good is barbecue smoke. Me and DJ LG would like to differ with you, sir. So got to ask you, Tex-Mex Frank, since you're a big-time guy that likes to go out there and smoke your meat, 420 does land on Easter. So what are you going to be doing? Mexican Junior, what's up, man? Thanks for joining. JC's in the house. Yo, what's up, JC?
What up, JC? Is that JC in sales?
JC from Special Leaf.
Oh, I know JC from Special Leaf. Special Leaf the drink, right?
Yep.
Tea?
Yep, tea.
Okay. All right.
It's good for you.
Thought that was JC Carpenter.
Yeah, JC Carpenter. I know him. He's cool people, man.
Good dude.
And we're also going to be talking about a movie review, maybe.
Somewhat.
So you know what? I didn't get to do it right, so let me go ahead and do the intro.
Welcome to another episode of the Area 210 podcast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast to you live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your host as it helps the show grow.
Good morning, San Antonio. We're coming to you live from the beautiful west side of San Antonio, representing the Puro Marbach area in the house here. And I'm going to be joined today by the one and only DJ LG. He's our in-studio guest. What's up?
Yo, I like that intro, man. I don't remember seeing that on the last show.
Yeah, it's there. We can't do it when we're doing the show remotely.
Oh, got you.
But I fixed that. Now we can. But Mike says he's
right.
afraid of the panda, man.
Panda's a little, I'm afraid of anybody dressed in mascot gear. That's not doing a sporting event.
Look at that. Tex-Mex Frank answers my question because I said 420 does land on Sunday. You're going to be doing more than smoking your meat. And he says 2 briskets are on the horizon. I will be smoking a brisket myself on Sunday. It's a tradition that I have here in my family, especially my daughter. She loves the brisket that dad makes. She's looking forward to it. She's usually the one that's there, first one in line with her plate, her tortilla, ready to make some brisket tacos. And my sons, they finish the rest of it, dude. And it doesn't matter how big a brisket I have. In the morning when I wake up, if I didn't already save me some for the next day, that sucker gone, dude.
How many kids do you have? I don't know you that well, Joe.
I got 3.
We're still getting to know each other.
I got 3 kids. So I got a daughter's the middle child. I got an older son. And then the baby of the family is my other son.
How old is baby?
Baby is 19 years old.
Okay, so that's not a baby.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, I got you.
Daughter's 21.
So you've got 3 grown ass adults.
Yeah.
You ain't got no kids.
No kids. Well, they call them kids. They're my kids. The daughter's 21. My son's 28 years old. The oldest one.
Okay.
But I tell you what, man, those boys pack it away, man. Every single time, man.
Oh yeah, they can eat, huh?
They can eat, especially the little one, dude. I think he's got a tapeworm or something, man.
Oh man.
Always eating, dude. Always eating my food. It's like that scene out of Friday, right? Where the dad goes in there and he goes, every time I come into my refrigerator, I catch you here eating my food. Yeah, that's me. I want to go in there and I was like, man, I'm going to get me something to eat for lunch, right? Because I work from home. There ain't nothing there, dude. Kids finished everything. There ain't no bread.
Well, you
There
got
ain't no
to
mail.
put a padlock on your
that's
refrigerator.
why I
Or-
got
oh,
my-
you got one in here.
I got one in here.
Okay.
Goddamn right I do. It's full of beer and liquor and little
I'm
snacks
gonna
and
have
stuff.
to go. I'm gonna have to go raid that in a second.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
a
Hey,
little- it's a little early.
You want some man water?
some what?
Man water. That's
what
what
the
we
hell
call
is
it.
man water?
Beer.
Oh, okay.
I got a Lone Star in
I
there.
thought
Lone
you had
Star
like
Light.
some sponsor or something that
No,
I hadn't heard
no,
about
no,
before.
man
Man
water,
water.
No, I got some Lone Star Light. You know, Lone Star Light is scarce right now, dude, because they changed their the place where they actually make Lone Star Light.
Where do they make it?
So it used to be in another distillery that they used to create it in, right? But now it got bought out by Anheuser-Busch.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're in that phase, that transition phase. So the only places that actually have Lone Star Light are going to be like, was it that one place that's over here off of Marbach? I forgot the name of it. I don't remember the
If
name.
I'm gonna drink Lone Star, it's gonna be Lone Star Light.
It has to be.
because I don't like the regular Lone
No,
Star.
no. That's what I drink when I'm outside and I'm out there barbecuing or whatever. I got to have the Lone Star Light, dude. And
I
that's
haven't
my
drank
go-to.
Lone Star in years. Do they still do the little puzzle on the
Yeah,
bottle cap?
When you pop
Yeah,
the cap,
yeah.
yeah, sure enough.
All right.
You got to decipher the message.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
I used to
good
love
stuff,
doing
man.
those, man. God, that brings back some bad memories, man.
Bad
Memories of being a DJ in the San Antonio nightlife scene.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah. And anyway, man, that's what I like. I like my Lone Star Light. I like Miller Light. But I also have a whole bunch of liquor in that fridge.
Nice.
One of my boys just for my birthday, I hadn't seen him for a little bit, and we finally met up over the weekend. And he's like, "Hey man, let me give you your birthday present." He brought me a bottle of one of my favorite whiskeys, and that's Angel's Envy.
Angel's Envy.
Angel's Envy.
Where is that made?
I think it's, I don't know. I have the sticker here. Let me see.
Is it Kentucky? Some nice Kentucky bourbon, or is it from Canada?
It's not Kentucky, man. It's, where is it made at?
Texas?
It's a triple oak process, it says. Oh, it isn't. It's Kentucky.
Yeah.
Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey.
Most of it comes from Kentucky.
Yeah. So it's been aged for at least 4 years.
Okay.
That one's
So
good.
that's for sipping. You don't mix that with something.
No,
Yeah.
that's a sipping whiskey.
Yeah.
Dude. And then I got another one in here too. We got Buffalo Trace that Mike got me finally because he had owed me a Buffalo Trace for quite some time.
Mhm.
My brother came through finally, got me like the gallon, the bottle,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
huge one. Yeah.
I heard they just had like an incident at the Buffalo Trace distillery where they had to shut down and pour out a whole bunch of their product. I think it flooded or caught on fire or something. I forget what happened, but there was a huge disaster there
Jeez.
recently.
And look, we got a super chat coming.
Oh,
The Drew
shoot.
Show.
What
Thank
up,
you,
Drew Show? Been a while.
Yeah. He says, DJLG. He goes, my militant Asian brother, down with the man.
Exactly. The Drew Show used to come with some hot sports opinions on my former show that I used to
Yeah.
produce.
Yeah, well, it's good to have Drew Show here. He's a big supporter of what we do here. So like Tex-Mex Frank, and you know Tex-Mex Frank, got to send you some love because I am wearing your hat, your beautiful Texican gear here. So
Oh.
shout out to him.
What up, Frank?
Yeah, Tex-Mex Frank.
I hung out with Frank at Mark's outing not too long ago down on the east side.
Yeah, man. Good stuff, dude. Hey, you were just telling me too. They said they need a good DJLG story. So why don't you tell us about what you were doing last night?
All right, last night. So I used to be a DJ. I was DJ'd for over 15 years in the San Antonio area and retired about maybe 2017. I retired from full-time DJing to go into broadcasting and podcasting and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's my buddy's birthday last night. To drop a set at his gig at the Watering Hole on Fred Road last night. And yeah, I dusted off the turntables and went out there and I dropped a 80s and 90s hip hop set. Nothing new.
Any
was played.
freestyle in there? 80s freestyle?
I played some Debbie Deb, some
Stevie
Lookout
B? No Stevie
Weekend.
B?
No, I didn't get Stevie B in there. I got some Lookout Weekend.
All right.
I got
Lookout Weekend, because
Here I Come. Yep. Yep. She never got paid for those songs, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. Never got paid. The record label ripped her off. But anyway, was out there and scratching it up. And shout out to everyone who came out to the Watering Hole last night. It was fun times, and
Yeah.
it kind of makes me get that itch again to get back out and start DJing professionally again, because there's money to be made
Of course.
and I have fun doing it, but nothing good happens after 2 a.m.
Oh, come on.
So I can't, dude. When I was DJing, I got hit by a drunk driver 3 times.
Still,
3 different incidents driving home from a DJ gig.
really?
Yeah.
Wrong way driver or what?
No, they swerved into me every time. It was a swerve into me. Just drunk. Like,
Look at this. Mexican Junior, Stevie B, In My Eyes.
yeah. You got some Don't Stop the Rock from the Freestylers, you know?
What's that other band that came out? Was it in the late 90s or early 2000s? That one song that they keep playing all the time over here that Spurs fans, some of them hate it and some of them like it. Are you ready for this?
Oh, yeah. I think that's like CNC Music Factory.
No,
or
it's
something.
not CNC. It's
I know what you're
another-
talking about. Are you
Yeah,
ready
yeah.
for this? Dun, dun.
Yeah, and that's the infamous song that everybody, either you love it or you hate it as a Spurs fan. They're like, it's so old. Let's go ahead and get rid of it. They don't play it very often anymore.
Do you remember the song that it was the Montel Jordan?
Oh, this is how we do
yeah,
it.
but they did it for Spurs back in the day.
Yeah,
it
I
was like a
remember
huge
that.
Spurs thing.
Or what's that other one they used to do? Turn Down for What? Remember they used to play that all
Little
the
John,
time,
Little
dude.
John.
God, I hated that song. Every time I go to a Spurs game, they bring it on. Turn Down for What? And he's like, oh, I'm going to take your request and whatnot. I got to call him out, man, because I've sent him some good bangers, dude. He never plays them, dude.
Mm.
Never plays them. I don't know if it's a music licensing thing or what. Let's go ahead and put this on there.
What you got?
Got another $4.99 incoming super chat. It says from John Fox, good to see DJ LG again. Have a great show.
John Fox. Is that Russ Fox?
I don't know.
Is that John Fox from the roofing company? I don't know. I know
Maybe.
a few people with the last name Fox.
Oh, look at they're talking about the name of the band that I was
Too
telling you.
Unlimited.
Too
Yeah,
Unlimited.
It's Get Ready for This.
Get
Too
ready
Unlimited.
for this.
Yes.
Yeah. All the time, dude. You would hear that. It was synonymous at Spurs games. You know, they would get you ready for this. And everybody's like, I hate that song.
Man.
They need to ban that song. Come up with something better.
They need to get rid of Rock and Roll Part 2 by Gary Glitter. Do you know that
Oh,
song?
God.
They play that song in every sporting arena in the world. And the dude was like a convicted child rapist.
Why do they keep playing it, dude?
I don't know.
Did it
man.
go into like the free licensing
I don't think
arena
it's
or
in
what?
there. But I mean, I guess they separate the man from the art.
Well, they still play Michael Jackson here too. I mean,
Never got convicted.
man.
Kicked the bucket before anyone could bust his ass.
You know, we're talking about the music, you know, appropriate and not appropriate. Is it appropriate to play any type of P. Diddy song now, right? He's been
So
canceled.
I
right?
actually just asked this to my DJ friend last
Right?
night. I was like, because I was playing a Biggie Smalls song, a Notorious B.I.G. song,
Yeah,
happened to have Puffy in it.
yeah.
And I was like, is this camp? Well, hell no. I play R. Kelly every day. I
R.
was like-
Kelly
He
too.
was like, I play R. Kelly, I play Chris Brown, I play Puffy. Like, it's like it's music. The music's good. You separate the man from the artist. And then Puffy hasn't been busted yet, too. So
Oh, I don't know if he's gonna be alive too much longer, bro. He's been in there quite a while.
they gotta have something on him, man, because they
No,
haven't
They got a lot on him.
they haven't charged him yet.
No, Puffy's a dirty birdie, bro. Here we go. Look at this. Another $5 super chat. He goes, we need 2 certified DJLG baller Bally anecdotes. Minimum day, boss. Let's start it off. The cochina for Mike, just cuz.
Yeah, it's LG, by the way, Drew Show, not LJ. Come on now.
And look at, I love 2 Unlimited. They have a lot of good hits. The whole catalog made up the Jack Jam soundtrack.
Soundtrack. Yeah, it had the Bulls song that Jordan would always come out to.
That's true. Look at Tex-Mex Frank. He says, I know DJ LG has a few great stories. Un grito for him. Tell the hooker and the broken finger story.
All right, I'm not going to tell that story. If you want to know more about that story, go to my YouTube page at DJLG210 and look at the last podcast I did called LG's House. The title of it is Lady of the Night.
That's what I was going to, I told you, I'm going to
Yes.
go and listen to this on the weekend because I want to hear that story.
So if you want to hear that story, I actually bring in my buddy Steve, who was an eyewitness of the event when I fought a hooker in a bar at 2 a.m. right before going in to do a radio show on iHeart at 6 a.m.
And what did you say? Nothing good happens, right?
Nothing good happens after 2 a.m. Anyways, there's video. I found video that I
Oh,
recorded of that
God,
night
dude.
when the cops come in and arrest this
Lady of the night.
sex worker.
Look at we have a 4.99 super chat. Thank you for the support. We appreciate you. From Greg Castanuela, he says, "Love you boys. No Diddy."
Thanks, Greg. Is that actually you in your picture this time? Because I know you like to rotate out pictures of different hosts. Chancla,
Probably.
not Cochina. Chancla.
Let's go ahead and do the grito because they paid for the grito.
Por presumir a mis amigos les conté que en el amor
It's longer than last time, wasn't it?
That was extremely. I had to pull my headphones off. It was so loud.
Anyway, that gets the sinuses cleared, man. Oh man,
What is that from? Where did you get that?
I don't know. I just found it on TikTok,
Good
and you know how
God.
you can remove the background.
Yeah.
And I just put the brother in front of Market Square,
Nice,
man.
nice.
I do got to get a new grito though, maybe one that's not as long as that one.
Man, speaking of Market Square, they're gonna fence the whole thing in for Fiesta
Yeah, they
and
have
put
them
up
like-
metal
You
detectors.
to have the people like cattle now, dude.
Yeah.
But you know, isn't that a good thing though? Because you think about all the nonsense that was going on in Market Square, right?
Well, two
The
people
shootings.
died last year.
They died. You know, they got shot. And
They shot
whatnot.
each other.
True that. One of them was a young guy too, just being dumb. But this is something that has continued to happen. Now, Chief McManus came out and was addressing the media about a week or so ago, saying that the changes that are going to be implemented, they're going to have like 6 exits or something like that. Cops at every entrance and exit. They're going to have metal detectors. You can't take in your own ice chest no more.
Clear bags only.
bags
small. There's a size limit to
Yeah,
your bag.
It's basically a piece of paper, right? And you fold it in half. That's the size of the bag you can bring in.
Jesus.
You can't have any weapons on you, so no shanks, no knives.
This is why we can't have nice things, man. Y'all don't know how to behave out there.
You know, so it's not like they're taking the fun out of the thing. You're gonna go in there, you're gonna spend money, right? On food, you're gonna spend money on drink. I think part of the allure was that it was a cheap date. You could take in your ice chest, you know, carry it around on your arm or just drag it around, go drinking and whatnot, you know, go to these different stages and listen to Tejano music. But people don't know how to behave nowadays. You know what? They should just put and going in with everything else, right? The bags, and you can't take in your own drink. They should also put a picture of the Edgar. If you have this haircut, you are not allowed in this venue.
Man,
Am I wrong?
Edgar catching strays from Joe.
Am I wrong, bro? I mean, I'm on
You-
Marbach.
I was gonna say you better watch what you say. Someone might hear you out
I
here.
don't care. I don't care. This is my neighborhood. I can say what I want. I'd say it with my chest out. You know what? It should make a picture, right, or a sticker, and it should have a picture of Edgar with the line through it, right? Put that on the back of the car.
I think you should rock an Edgar.
No, oh, you
Yeah.
had to rock an
I
Edgar.
rocked an Edgar. I think we should make a bet where one of us has to rock an Edgar if we lose the bet, just for a day or two.
What was the story behind that? Why did you have to rock the Edgar?
I think it was a celebration of getting to 3,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel.
Jeez.
Yeah, Mike said he would rock a mullet and I'd rock an Edgar, and his mullet wasn't even a mullet. Mine was an Edgar for
Full
sure.
on Edgar.
Yeah, full on
God.
Edgar.
I can't imagine you. There are any pictures of that does exist?
Yeah, they're out there, man. Let me see if I can find one.
I gotta
Might have
see
one on
this.
my phone.
It says your audio is out of sync. I don't know, man. It seems to be okay for me.
Huh.
It says, Joe, if you have a license to carry, can you carry at Fiesta events? Probably not, dude. They're not going to allow you to go in with the concealed weapon. It says delay of sound to video of a few seconds. Don't know, man.
I blame the internets.
The internet here is hardwired, dude. We're not on Wi-Fi. And look at Jason gave us a 199 super chat here. He says, if you haven't already, give the grito for LG. We did the grito. I think we did the grito enough already. We're gonna blow out DJ LG's.
Maybe we need a manual grito from Joe.
God, dude. I got some tequila here. You want to do a tequila shot? Then we could do a grito.
All right. I'd like to. You want to have a grito off?
Grito off. We should do that. Oh God, dude. I just saw the picture of the mullet.
Yeah, I just sent it to you.
I'm gonna show it. I don't know if everybody can see it though.
That was right after the cut, so it wasn't really styled.
That was after the cuh.
Yeah, right after the crema ca. And I got that at some barbershop right here off Marbach too. So I went to the source where they knew how to cut.
Yeah, man. No quema cuh.
It looks better when it's actually combed forward because then you got the straight line right there and the bangs.
Look at that. JC says over under on DWIs during Fiesta set at 200. Unfortunately, there are gonna be a lot of them, dude.
Yep.
A lot of them. That's why you should Uber, man. It's
You
cheaper.
should probably Uber, yeah.
It's cheaper.
or not drink. Yeah.
No, you can't go to Fiesta and not drink, man. Come on.
What about the recovering alcoholics and the sober sisters and
There you
whatnot?
go. Hey, let me ask you a question, man. Do you partake in Fiesta? Will you be going to any Fiesta events?
I barely partake in Fiesta. Last Fiesta event I went to was Taste of New Orleans, and I was paid to be there.
You had to be there.
Yeah, I was paid to do a podcast there, and
God.
it was a great event though. I don't do Fiesta, man. I'm not a big crowd guy.
Really?
Yeah, I might do Taste of. That's my favorite event, just because it's chill.
Taste of the North Side?
No, Taste of New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I was gonna say
I haven't done Taste of the North Side.
Well, they're gonna have it out here at the Rock.
Really?
Yeah, that's where they're gonna be hosting it this year. It's probably like tickets are like $135 each.
I was going into this with somebody the other day. Maybe it was you last time I was on the podcast. But what is Taste of the North Side? What consists of food from the North Side? You know,
It's probably for $135, you're gonna sample all like the best fare that San Antonio has to offer from all the swanky restaurants and whatnot, right?
from North Side restaurants.
From the North Side, you
So
know,
what
Taste
is
of the
that?
North Side.
What's a swanky North Side
I
restaurant?
don't know, dude.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
What
saying.
is that? You know, but that's what they're billing it as. Like it's top tier food prepared from the best chefs in San Antonio, and that comes with wine, comes with the alcohol for $135.
I mean, I guess that's okay.
But how
is it
big
all
are
you
the
can? Is it all you
servings?
can drink?
It probably is, but they probably giving you like tiny little cups.
Well, you just got to get in line as soon as you get your first cup.
You're gonna
just stay in line the
if
whole
I'm gonna
time.
go, man, make it count. Like, give me 4 or 5 of them little fuckers. You know?
I've never been to Taste of the North Side. Doesn't Alamo Heights do something like
They
that
used
too?
to. I've never
Yeah.
been to Taste of the North Side.
Nah.
I say
So-
that's a Mike Jimenez thing because we make fun of him. We call him the coconut, right? Because
Okay.
he's brown on the outside, but he's white on the inside.
Got you.
Always
So
bad mouthing his own
he's
people.
the reverse Miklo.
Miklo, yeah,
Blood In,
he don't
Blood
like
Out.
his own people. He don't like Tejano. Doesn't get his foot tapping. I'm like, it's in your DNA if you're Mexicano, dude. You can't go to the Tejano stage or Tejano explosion, even if you don't like it, and you can't be out there listening. And I want a beer. Your foot starts tapping on its own.
all
I'm
right,
like, come on,
all
man.
right.
You know,
So where is Mike these days?
Oh, he's
Why
in
is he not
Houston,
sitting
dude.
right here?
he's
right
in
now?
Houston, man.
What's he doing?
He's in Houston.
Celebrating Good Friday in
I don't know.
Houston?
He's a Houstonian now, so I don't know. I don't know what they do. What do you do on Friday in Houston, man?
I don't
We should
know.
ask him,
Who
dude.
knows?
Next time I'll ask him. What do you do in Houston on a Friday evening? He's over there in the Woodlands.
Okay.
The Woodlands in Houston. Out there by Conroe.
All right.
He still wants to claim his San Antonio roots, but I'm like, you ain't been in San Antonio for how long? Been about a week, 2
So
weeks?
he hasn't been in this chair in a while, huh?
He hasn't been in
You've
the
been
chair
doing
in a while.
everything
We're doing it remote.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I'll keep it warm for you, Mike.
Yeah, Mike. So the other thing we're going to talk about, we're going to actually talk about sports at some point. So I think we should get into this because this is a discussion that I saw on the Pat McAfee show yesterday.
Oh, that
Because
guy.
they were talking about Aaron Rodgers, right? So it's like,
Of
I
course.
want to listen. I want to see what Aaron Rodgers has to say. And he was just kind of like, oh, I'm going to clear the air. There's been a lot of rumors going about. And I know it's not coming from my own camp. We don't have any moles in my camp and this. And I'm like, bro, come on. Money talks, Aaron. You're like, everybody ain't loyal to you. And he's a dick anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
douche face.
yeah, so of course they're going to go ahead and spill something on him. But either way, he was saying that he doesn't know what he wants to do with his career yet. You know, he hasn't really chose a team. Nobody's really seems to be interested in giving him any offers anymore. And he's like, well, I don't know. I'm still contemplating retirement. That might be
I heard
there.
that. Yeah.
You know, so he doesn't really know what he wants to do. Sounds like he's in flux. Sounds like maybe his passion now is ayahuasca. Because if you looked at the Pat McAfee show and you watched it, and it says, you know, what you're doing, and it was like ayahuasca. I'm like, why would you put that out there, dude? Right next to your name, man. You know it's illegal for one.
Just retire already,
Like,
dude.
He has a reality show where he was partaking of the ayahuasca.
Of course.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't watch that. I didn't watch it. It was dumb anyway.
He needs to retire, and then somebody's going to give him a lucrative broadcasting deal because he's controversial, and that's where he's going to be. He's going to be forever in our ears.
But he's gonna say dumb stuff. That's the thing.
Exactly. That's why he makes money. That's why they gave him that ridiculous contract to be on Pat McAfee's show.
Did they give him a contract? to be on
Yeah,
that?
he's getting paid millions to be on that show.
I thought they were friends, dude. That's like you're doing your friend a solid. You're gonna come
They
on.
got him a contract. That's why he was there every day for a while.
Oh,
And then they banned him for a little bit.
Oh,
because
yeah.
of that little incident. But
Disney got mad.
yeah,
You can't be saying
you
that.
can't piss off the mouse, man.
Oh, yeah.
Don't piss off the mouse.
Well, he's still on there. They
They slapped him on the wrist.
Yeah. They said no, you can't be.
You
on
got to
here
wait
a
for the
month."
news cycle to reset. They forget about you and then put you back on the air.
Yeah. They got rid of him, then they brought him back again. But he was talking about his future and whatnot. I'm like, at this point, man, you're gonna be gone a whole year. You're already getting up there in age. You're kind of washed already.
But who wants him? He comes with
Hang
a
it
shit
up.
ton of baggage. Sorry, a crap ton of baggage.
Oh, you can cuss on
okay,
here.
okay.
We
I
can.
didn't know if there's a family show or not.
No, no.
I'm so used to just no
No,
filter on my
this is not a
shows, so-
family show. Fuck
Okay.
them kids, DJLG. Fuck them kids.
I
No kids should be listening to us anyway.
I don't mind if kids listen. This is
Yeah.
not for kids.
No,
though.
it's not
Yeah.
for kids at all.
According to YouTube, listen, no content not for kids.
Oh, look at Mike is trying to blend in with the Houstonians. Probably. Fridays in Houston. Battle traffic. Try not to get shot. Look, Maymenes is in Houston buying Rockets tickets. He probably is, dude.
Yeah, the better team in the state, the best team in the state.
Going by another fucking Joe Rogan. Oh God. No thanks. Joe Rogan. No.
I can't. I used to like it. I can't do it anymore.
No.
No, I can't do the Rogan podcast anymore.
No, I don't do that anymore either.
He
Hey.
just sits there and yeah, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, and just entertains every false fact.
Well, he's
It's
based
like-
out of Austin, bro.
Now he is.
he's probably high most of the time he's doing the show
Oh,
anyway.
for sure. Yeah,
He's
he
partaking.
well, he takes all sorts of stuff. He's doing like DMT,
Wow.
which I don't even know what that is.
DMT. What is that?
That's
dude?
what Joe Rogan does. It's some like magic medicine, like
Yeah, I think it's I heard him the other time. He was talking about he was doing some type of drug, and he's like talking to some other guy that's doing it too, and he's like, "Did you see the elves?" I'm like, "Bro,
that's probably DMT
what
because
the-
people talk about like going to the moon, like, oh, I went to the moon for a few hours and came back. I'm like, why do you want to feel like that, bro? Like,
why?"
yeah,
It's just like ayahuasca. You know what? I think the ayahuasca that Aaron Rodgers is talking about, you have one or two experiences, right? When you do the ayahuasca, either it's life altering.
it's like
right?
peyote, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's so like a hallucinogenic, right? So you're either going to have the best experience of your life and come away with a better understanding of everything, right? Like, wow, man, this was eye-opening. Or it's going to be the worst trip of your fucking life, dude. You're going to be shitting yourself. You're going to be throwing up all over the place. You're going to have one hell of a trip. And then they got to wake you up because they got these shamans or whatever that administer the stuff. Everybody's out
Man.
there by the fire. You're passed out and whatnot. It don't sound like a good time to me, dude.
I picture like the scene in like Natural Born Killers when they're out there in the desert and I think they get bit by a snake or something and they just start hallucinating in the desert.
yeah.
There's also a similar scene in The Doors, both movies by Oliver Stone, by the way,
There you
where
go,
where
man.
they have a hallucination scene. They take a bunch of peyote and go out into the desert,
Yeah.
and it's like a vision quest, you know? Like,
Yeah. There you go.
but
but
that's what the Native Americans used
That's
it for.
what they do too,
Yeah.
man. So I don't know, man. Aaron Rodgers think he's on a big trip. I think he just needs to retire, go off into the sunset. Somebody give him his shine box and send him off, man. You're done. Don't come back. Go to broadcasting. Do something else. He'll get paid.
He will be in broadcasting, and we'll have to deal with him for the next 20 years.
Oh, he'll, just as long as he doesn't give me the political views, dude. That's the one thing that I can't stand though. It's like if you're watching sports, you're using it as an outlet to escape from everything. You don't want to have to go on there and then listen to somebody giving you their political views on the world. Like that's not the place for it. If you want to do
you
that,
can find that.
you
yeah.
can find that.
You
Go to
can find that.
CNN, Fox
Yeah.
News, whatever
got
you
it.
want.
You got it.
Not on a sports broadcast, man. Come on. That's the problem that I had with Coach Pop.
You want him to shut up and coach?
Just shut up and coach, bro. I want to watch basketball.
My thing is, don't use the press conference to do that. You want to do a political statement? Fire off a tweet.
yeah.
Go do a speech at a restaurant somewhere. Why you got to use the NBA press conference to do that?
Yeah, exactly.
You've
man.
got enough of a reach. You can schedule an interview on any show you want. You're Pop,
Yeah.
and let your opinion be known there.
Hey, let me get your opinion on Pop because this is a dicey subject, and me and Mike Jimenez have talked about it a lot. Coach Pop's already up there in age, 75, going to be 76 years old.
Yeah.
He suffered a stroke.
Mm-hmm.
Is he capable enough to come back as a Spurs head coach and coach for an 82-game season?
I wouldn't know unless I knew the severity of the stroke. But personally, I wouldn't come back.
Why would you, right?
That's too much stress on your body. Traveling 42, 41 games a year, not to mention if you make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Airplane life is not, it's not good on the body, man.
You're jet lagged, right? Thank you. So anytime you travel on a plane, and I've done this myself, right? You travel, you have to wake up super early, right? Or you're traveling late at night, one of the two. You're waiting there in the freaking airport, right? You got to get checked through the TSA and whatnot. Most stressful part of the whole flight is taking off those shoes and putting all your shit in the little basket.
I got pre-check. I don't do that anymore. But yes, that is very stressful.
It used to be stressful, right? I didn't know you could get pre-check now. I'd rather pay for that. You know? I'm with you. Yeah, but putting all your stuff in that little box and then having to be in line with everybody and go through the scanner and put your hands up.
And with the dude yelling, "I said, take your shoes off.
Yeah,
remove your belt."
And some people are stupid asses and they're holding up the line because they don't want to take their shoes off.
Oh, the worst is when I'm in the TSA pre-check line. The person in front of me starts taking their shoes off, their belt, their jacket, and I'm like, "This TSA pre-check, you don't do that in this line. Just go. Just go."
But anyway, dude, going through all this shit, having to endure all this stuff, then you got to go, and after you finally get through the check, right, you go and wait for an hour or so to get on the fucking plane, and then you have to wait for everybody because it's only the aisle is so small. Then everybody's putting their baggage away and trying to sit down. Then finally the plane, hopefully, thank God, after all that, the plane takes off on time. And you're not on the tarmac for another 30, 40 minutes. Then plane takes off. You're out there, all right, you're getting your flight. And either you're going to get on time or you're going to be late. And then if you have a layover, you're going to be there for another hour and a half, 2 hours. Then you finally get on the plane and then you get to your destination. After all that's done, dude, you're tired, man.
Extremely tired. And I'm sure they're better at it because they do it all the time. So they've got the stamina to get past the jet lag. But still, at that age, do you really want to be flying around everywhere for NBA games? I mean, retire, become president of basketball operations, be assistant GM. You've got a role with the Spurs forever. You don't need to be the head coach anymore, especially if it's going to be a health risk for you.
It's a lot to endure, man. And we're talking about Coach Pop saying that, he's wants to come back at his age. I don't know, man. I don't think
they do fly charter too. Drew Show's right. They don't have to deal with the normal stuff that us peasants have to deal with.
No chancla.
Yeah, they don't even deal with TSA.
Yeah, thanks for the super chat, by the way, Drew Show. We appreciate it. He says they fly charter, no TSA, also no chancla.
Dude, have you ever flown private?
I've never flown private.
It'll change your life.
I've had to go, like when I was working at the Valero corporate office, right?
Yeah.
So I had to help all the VPs, CEOs, and all that kind of stuff. And they had me there because I wasn't afraid to talk with these people.
Yeah.
Right. I came in and I was doing my IT thing and all that, but they had me specifically handle the upper echelon, the VIP clients. And they're like, "You're not afraid?" I'm like, "No." I was like, "Look, man, I worked at Kelly Air Force Base for I don't know how many years. If I had to report to the 2-star general, going in front of a VP or a CEO ain't shit to me. I ain't afraid of them at all." So they had me helping them out. They would send me to the hangar, right?
Yeah.
Valero has its own private hangar out there by the airport. And it's funny, dude, when you get into the hangar, when you're trying to get in, they have to open the gate for you, right? And there's a lovely lady there that talks to you. And the one that handles the whole thing, she has a British accent. She's really cool and everything. But it's weird pulling up and she's like, "Hello, how are you doing?" I'm just like, "Oh, okay, why are you here?"
Top of the morning.
Yeah, so she lets you in and everything. And you have to go to the hangar, right? And you have to go and work on, I don't know, a computer or something that they have going on inside the plane, for a presentation or whatever they're going to be doing, right? So you got to get a projector or whatever ready, right? So I was in the hangar. I go in there and they have the plane. They're like, "Oh yeah, you need to go work on there inside the plane." They have the projector. They need the meeting and all these graphics and all. I'm like, "All right, man." I go in there. I was like, "Damn, this is nice, dude. That's a nice plane, man. Getting on those private jets."
It's nice.
It's
man.
nice, dude.
It's nice. I've only flown private once. I was shooting a reality show for Raising Cane's, the chicken finger place.
Yeah.
And they sent a private plane to pick me up and fly me to their headquarters in Baton Rouge. And the private experience is great. There's no security whatsoever. You drive your car up right to the plane.
Yeah, you're in the hangar.
You throw the keys to the valet. They park your car. You're off. When
Yeah.
you land at your destination, your rental car is sitting there on the runway waiting for you. So you just walk off the plane,
It's VIP,
right into the
brother.
car, and you're out. And then when you come back, my old ass, I felt so bad because I was driving this piece of crap 2004 Explorer that like barely ran. And it was wintertime. I landed in San Antonio at that millionaire private airport or whatever. And there's my old beat up, like hail damaged Explorer sitting on the tarmac, started, heater on, ready to go. And I'm like, oh, the bumper's like falling off. Like, oh, okay, cool. From private jet to the hoopty. It's great.
To the hoopty, dude. It's just like you got used to the good life.
That's right. I was hoping they would have upgraded my car when I got
Where's my
back.
Mercedes?
That ain't mine. What's that?
That belongs to somebody else. That's not my car. Well, anyway, dude, it was funny. We're getting off on tangents, and that's the thing I like when you're here in the studio or you're on the show. That's because we go off the rails. dude.
Yeah.
We talk about whatever. But getting back to talking about sports a little bit here, one of the things I wanted to bring up with you here is a topic that I heard them talking about on the Pat McAfee show. And they had Adam Silver on, NBA commissioner. And they're talking about the future of streaming, the future of where all this is going.
We're the future of streaming.
Exactly. So what they were saying is that the younger generation now, they don't necessarily watch like everybody else, like a normal consumer.
Mhm.
They're going to be watching on their TV, mobile device. They do watch on their TV on occasion, but they're not going to like Hulu or anything like that. Most of the time, the younger generation is going directly to YouTube. And
Yep.
what is YouTube? It's the number 2 as far as search engine goes.
Number 2 search engine next to Google.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where everybody's going, right? That's the future of what's happening. It's live streaming. People are getting tired of tuning into ESPNs, the FS1s, all those big networks.
Mhm.
The younger generation likes to go ahead and consume their entertainment on YouTube, whether that's private streamers like me and you or somebody else doing a private stream or what have you, live streaming. And that's the future of where all this is going.
Well, and they don't want to hear the old legacy broadcasters breaking down the X's and O's of some defense on a game. They want to hear people like their peers talk about it. They want to hear people that are more in the general population, not some 30-year-old professional broadcaster that, has been on the radio for this long and has no connection with the youth.
Yeah, the talking heads.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yes.
like Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah,
and all
you
these
got to
other guys.
evolve. The media has evolved, and traditional media is dying. Radio's dying.
Yeah.
News is dying. You see all the layoffs with the anchors in San Antonio. They're all going young. They're going to multimedia journalists that can not only report, but they can shoot, edit, and write as well. So
Yeah.
it's the whole media landscape is changing.
Yeah, and radio is slowly decaying, dude. It's like the grape on the vine. It's gonna fall off the vine. It's getting rotten, right?
Yeah,
Not a
yeah.
lot of people are consuming on radio. Radio is still around, and it's gonna be around in some capacity,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not gonna be the avenue that people are going and gravitating towards. We can
No,
see
no.
that happening.
Some car companies are already trying to remove antennas, FM and AM antennas from their cars.
They just need Google, the
That's all
Google
you need,
CarPlay
man.
or what
That's
have
all
you.
you need.
It integrates with your iPhone and with your Android phone, and that's all you need.
That's all you need. And
That's
it's
all you need.
and radio's fleeting too. It's like once it hits the airwaves and it's gone. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes I'll put up a podcast, but it's like,
It's not evergreen content.
well, yeah, it's because it's timely. It's not evergreen, but you can go back on YouTube and watch it forever. It's up there
Yeah.
forever until you decide to take it down. And the listeners are more invested in personalities, individuals,
Because
on streaming.
you're building a community.
Exactly.
That's it.
And the interactivity with the
Yeah.
streaming. You can't, sure, you can make phone calls or send in tweets and maybe the host on the radio will read it, but you don't have the live chats like this. We can put your chat right here on the screen. We can interact with you in real time,
Yeah.
and you get to actually become a part of the content in the show. And that's the big difference between traditional media and what we're doing here is the interactivity and
Yeah.
the connection with the actual audience.
Yeah, it's like watching, let's say, a live news broadcast that you're watching on either Cans 5, News 4, Fox 29, or KSAT 12, right? You're listening to your guy or your gal report the news, but they're not showing your comments on there in real time.
No.
You know, it's kind of like they could pre-record it and put it out there.
Yeah,
No one
they'll
cares.
they'll pick like one fluffy comment and put it up
Yeah.
there, and it was sent in like 5 hours before the newscast.
Or look at this picture of somebody's dog. Let's put that up there.
Exactly.
You know?
Traditional media is dead, man.
Yeah.
It's dead. And putting your effort towards traditional media outlets, it's I don't know if it's
It's
worth
a
the
waste of
effort.
time.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth the effort.
Even the pay-per-play model, right?
Yes.
For coming out on the radio.
Yeah.
Why? You could spend that money on growing your brand.
For example,
Right?
you're familiar with the Sports Grind that used to be on iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
They were pay for play. They would pay
Yeah.
a certain amount of money per week to get
To play.
2 hours of airtime,
Yeah.
and then they get to sell the ads.
Yeah.
That model's dying as well.
Yeah.
Because radio airwaves are not as valuable as they used to be.
Yeah.
It's localized. Unless you're using the app, you can't get the radio station. Streaming is global. Unless it's
Yeah.
banned in, like, YouTube might be banned in
Yeah,
China.
you have a
something, but
worldwide audience. in
we're
other
global.
words.
We're
Yeah.
global. You had somebody in here from Japan the other day. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody from the Netherlands was in here, right?
Yeah.
Amsterdam or something.
Yeah. Our good friend Gert.
Gert.
Gert
That's
from
a
the
very-
Netherlands.
A very Dutch name. Gert.
Yeah, Gert.
Yeah.
So look at Tavares says, not XM. XM is still banging. XM radio is satellite radio.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's you got to pay
Yeah,
to
you gotta
listen
pay.
to them.
You gotta
You
pay.
know? And I have it in my Cadillac. You know?
I used to have it, but the trial expired. I canceled it.
Oh no, I still have
I
it.
got the free trial
Yeah.
with the new car, and I was
No.
like, all right.
I
I,
like to-
love satellite radio.
I like the satellite radio. I have to have it because I like to travel. Look, I work from home all week, right? So on the weekends, I like to get out and have fun. Maybe I might go for a road trip, go do something, go explore, go do something. And if I'm driving for an extended period of time and I have traditional, terrestrial radio, signal goes out.
Oh yeah,
And with XM, I could drive wherever and I already know what I'm listening to. I could put on a game, whatever.
till you hit that tunnel.
Yeah, till I hit the tunnel. Yeah, if I'm going underground or I'm going through an overpass, it's over. But it happens on occasion, but the signal comes back.
And it's crystal clear. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's-
And
it's
there's
in
so many
HD.
options. I love the hip hop channels on XM. They're
Yeah.
great.
They got a whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole bunch of channels. Like when I go into the Cadillac Q system that I have and you push the button, I mean, like the channels are just tons of them, dude. But I do like the options when it comes to sports because I can listen to baseball, I can listen to basketball, whatever. It's there,
Yep.
So I don't mind it, dude. That's why I pay it. It's like $20-something,
Mhm.
$24 a month. I'm like, I'll pay for it.
Speaking of play-by-play radio listening to, Bill Schoening announced his retirement at the end of the season. The long
I
time,
saw that.
24 years as the voice of the Spurs.
Damn, it's a long time.
Is play-by-play radio dying? Because radio's dying. Is the
Yeah.
play-by-play announcer for radio an occupation that's dying? I
I
feel
think
like
so.
it is.
Look at JC.
Slowly.
JC with Special Leaf says, what are your thoughts on watch parties via YouTube? Big area to explore. He says, or overrated. No, this is actually smart.
Huge area to explore.
It's
Yes.
it's a gray area that hasn't been explored enough. And before everybody goes out there and says, oh, we're gonna throw a watch party now. Let's go ahead and get on board and do it. Let's be the front runners.
Mhm.
There's licensing issues. You can't rebroadcast
can't-
any audio.
Yeah, most people doing that, they just show themselves.
Yeah.
They don't show the actual
You
broadcast.
can't show that. You
Yeah.
can't show the broadcast as far as any capacity goes,
Nope.
as far as the
And
video.
no audio either.
And no audio
Yeah.
because the NBA owns those rights.
Yep.
You have to pay in order to go ahead and be able to air that. You can just go ahead and it's yourself on there doing a live stream, reacting in real time to
Mhm.
something that's unfolding in front of you.
Yes.
And you can show stats.
We've actually done this on my previous show. We
Yeah.
threw an NBA draft party, watch party.
yeah.
And then we played like strip poker while we were doing it to keep the audience entertained. You know?
Yeah. I mean, you could do things like that. But I think one thing that the NBA needs to get on board with is having some type of avenue where it's almost like a watch party, right? And you have to pay for it in some capacity to be able to, I don't know, have a view of the court or what have you. But instead of having the audio being pumped in from, let's say, the TV,
Mhm.
audience, that what they're hearing, it's going to be another announcer, kind of like a pay by
Yeah,
play.
like doing your own play. Like
Yeah,
a,
like Bill
like a
Schoening.
like a Manning cast, but you can't see the game.
Can't really see
Yeah,
it.
you can't
yeah.
see the game, but you can hear and watch us.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe on Twitch, they're doing this every single day. They got
Yeah.
so many watch parties on Twitch.
Look at that. It says, "Good morning, both of you. How's it going? What's up?"
What up, Samoan?
Yeah.
My
Good to see you,
Samoan
man.
OG.
And look at Tavares says, "No, pay-by-play, not dying. People still listen, especially for truck drivers."
I hope so, man. As a former play-by-play announcer, I was the voice of the Texas State Bobcats for a few years. I hope it doesn't die. It's so fun to do, and I love listening to. Bill Schoening was a master at his craft.
He
And
was,
there's
man.
Craig Way is a master. The real play-by-play announcers for radio are highly talented individuals.
It takes a special talent to be able to pull that off.
It does. You have to paint the picture and be able to include all your sponsors, and you got to hit the timing right.
It's an artist. You're like an artist with the words.
It's true.
Right?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
You are. You're a wordsmith.
And not only that, but you have to go ahead and be expressive. You have to have that voice, that personality that lends itself well
Mm-hmm.
to do that. And to be able to do that for a full 82 games. That's a gauntlet, dude.
It's a long time, but I would take that gig in a heartbeat if it was offered to me.
And then
That's-
traveling with the team.
Yeah.
I'm just like, damn. You're away from your family for a long time. So I'm hoping now that, Bill, he's going to enjoy retirement. He gets to spend time with the family, gets
Yeah,
to
yeah.
go and enjoy time with the wife, and they get to go and travel and do things that they always wanted to do together. He deserves it, man.
Yeah, that's a long time. 24
That's
years.
a long time. It is, dude.
That's a long time to be at one position, man.
Wishing him the best, man, in his next venture here in retirement. Go have fun, brother. And then,
Yeah.
you know what? That's Carl Schoening's dad, too.
Mhm.
So maybe Carl will be able to spend more time with his pops now.
Yeah, maybe I need to get Carl to bring his pops on the air sometime.
That would be interesting, dude.
Yeah.
Talk with the great one,
Yeah.
the great Bill Schoening.
He's a musician too.
I know,
Yeah,
dude.
he's
He
all over the
released an
place.
album and all that. He would sing. I'm like, wow,
Yeah. Yeah.
man of many talents, dude. Man of many talents. But I wanted to talk about what we were talking about before we went off track here. And that was the future of what's going to happen with streaming, right? And that's what Adam Silver was talking with Pat McAfee. And he was saying, look, man, look at what we did. He's like, we saw what everyone else was doing, but they wanted to do something different. So what they did is they built a community around his personality and the other guys that he has on the show. And people gravitated towards that. It was the reception was right on.
Yeah.
He had
They gambled on that, but it paid off because they did switch the format
yeah.
to a live streaming podcast. That's McAfee's format.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. And then the plethora of guests that he has on.
Yeah.
Because of, his contacts and
And
whatnot.
access. Yeah.
And let's be honest, everybody that he's getting on that show, they're not getting on there for free. A lot of these athletes, and this is what people don't understand. When you get athletes on these big 4-letter networks and all that, they're like, oh, well, they just asked them to be on the show and they came on the show for free. No.
No, they get paid.
They get paid, bro.
Yeah, they get paid.
Let's be
They get
honest.
paid. Unless they're like promoting something and they're going on like a media tour.
Yeah.
They get paid for their appearances.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So they talk with their agents and whatnot, and it's coordinated, and they
Yeah.
go ahead and get paid for their time because their time is valuable, So that's what's happening with Pat McAfee now. Now that he's, transitioned over to the 4-letter network, I'm sure that every guest has on is getting paid in some capacity.
Yeah.
Except for probably Adam Silver. He's probably doing that to bring awareness.
Yeah,
to the NBA
he's
overall.
promoting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were talking about the NBA format as far as their ratings and how they fell off a little bit. Not a little bit, by a lot.
A lot.
And he says that during the All-Star game and All-Star weekend, it's when they saw a resurgence of the ratings come back up again. But that's more because people were interested to see what was going to unfold, new format that they had for the All-Star game, wanted to see the slam dunk contest, all these things again. So that generated some interest. But more importantly than that, at that point in time, people were coming back to watch the NBA because of the seeding
Mhm.
that was going on and the competition that was happening for the playoffs. It was, all these games really mattered. So I think that's kind of what brought people back. And now that the NBA playoffs are going to kick off now over the weekend, when starting the day 2, you still got some play-in tourneys that are going to be going on. This is actually generating interest too. And he's like, look, at the end of the day, when they go ahead and look at the overall picture as far as the numbers go, he's like, we've only lost like 2%. We're 2% down from where we were at this juncture last season.
Mhm.
He goes, compared to where we started to where we're at now. He goes, and one of those big avenues where I guess they were able to like get more of the audience back was through streaming.
Yeah.
Specifically with like YouTube TV, he was even going on to say that that's why he made the deals that he did instead of, re-upping and going with TNT and going with the other streaming channels out there, because that's the future of what's going to happen. And he
Mhm.
could see that. And he said those were hard discussions to be had behind the scenes to get everybody else that was, in that boardroom behind, this is the future of what's coming. And he was saying that even I don't know if it's going to happen this year or next year, but he was saying in the future, when people are going to be watching these games, you're going to be able to go ahead and get more interactive with them. You're going to be able to pick your own angles where you want to view the game from. And that's interesting too.
They're
because
already doing that. They've released a
choice.
few VR games
Oculus
this year.
Rift and all that.
So where
Yeah.
you could pick your seat in the arena and watch the game from that particular seat.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
It's a different perspective.
it is. It is. It's weird. I've never tried VR,
Yeah.
but I'm very interested in it, and
Yeah.
it is going to be a future thing.
Yeah, but he was saying even too, just like the regular streaming, you're going to be able to with Amazon, for example, you know how they have that X-ray where you can go ahead and look at the NFL games, right? So you can just watch a regular traditional NFL game, but if you want to watch the stats, kind of like Madden, where it has the tracker and it shows the guy and all
I've
that.
seen that.
I
Yeah,
watched that, dude, and I like it. So
That's
they're going to
pretty
give you
cool.
an option moving forward. You could pick your view of the court. What angle do you like more?
I'm all about having options, man. Give
Yeah.
you the choice of how you want to take in your media, and I'm all for that, man. That'd be great. Because sometimes you just, you want to focus on one player or something. Maybe they have a follow cam, hey, follow, Darren Fox around the entire game. And
Yeah.
you just get a point of view from him.
Pick your player, right, and pick your angle.
It'd be great.
Yeah,
It'd be great. I'm in. I'm all in on it.
The Fox cam.
I think Adam Silva has a great idea there.
Yeah, so that's kind of what they're doing. I guess what they're trying to do is they're trying to tailor more towards what the consumer wants and their needs, because they're going to want. And the thing is that I think the NBA needs to get on board with some of what DraftKings and some of these other outlets are doing. And what the consumer wants is they want the stats. They need those numbers because they're betting nowadays, and it's
Fantasy
big
too,
business.
yeah, betting and fantasy.
Big business, dude. And I think they need to start putting that up there in some capacity. Even if you don't want to watch it, let's say in a regular traditional aspect of watching an NBA game, but you have a different perspective.
They should have
with the
they
stats.
should have a betters feed.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it's covering the spreads, it's all the prop bets,
Yeah.
point differentials, all that stuff.
Yeah, so you know what's happening in real time, because if you're betting and these players hitting their numbers, it matters because you want your money at the end of the day.
Did I hit my parlay? All right.
Yeah. And
6-leg parlay.
it's weird now because people make money not betting on the actual game itself, on the outcome of the game. It's more in the context of the stats of said players.
I used to, when I used to do sports gambling in Vegas, I
Yeah.
would always bet on the halftime score. I never bet on the actual
The
end
actual
of the game score.
Yeah.
And I did pretty well doing that.
Gosh, man. It's different now with the way that things are changing. You would have never thought that sports betting would have been as big as it is now. Nobody
I-
would have forecasted
I
that.
can't believe it is.
Yeah.
Especially gambling is an addiction. It's a disease. And now it's fine.
Yeah.
It's part of everyday life.
The same thing is going to be happening here with streaming, and that's why it's so important. Everybody who's building an audience that's live streaming now, like me and you, right? And anybody else here in town trying to make a name for themselves. This is the thing that people have to understand. And we've talked about this. Everybody thinks that streaming on multiple platforms is the way to go. I'm going to go out and put myself on Twitter. I'm going to put myself on Facebook, whatever other platforms, and YouTube as
We're
well.
going to restream to all the platforms.
All of 'em, because
we're
we
going to
need
be
to.
on Rumble and Truth Social. And
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like, why are you going to do that if you're not going to get a lot of play on these other platforms just to have a presence there, when you can go ahead and stream and put all your efforts towards the second biggest
search engine in the world.
search engine in
Yeah.
the world, and that is YouTube.
YouTube. You got to narrow focus. I mean,
Yeah.
it's nice to have that exposure, but those other platforms, use them to redirect your audience back to your YouTube channel. That's how you're going to grow.
You can do other things on those platforms that you can't
That's
do
where
on
you
YouTube.
post your clips, your
Yeah.
shorts. Hey, for more, come here. For more, go to my YouTube page.
For example, on the X, you want to grow your reach and you want to grow your audience. Don't do a live stream there.
Did you just call it VX?
Oh, no, I said the X.
VX.
DX.
Oh, DX. Okay.
Yeah, DX.
Okay.
You want to talk about wrestling? We'll talk about that a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you want to go ahead and really grow your audience, right? On Elon Musk platform, the X. Right?
Okay.
You're going to want to go ahead and do something that you can't do on YouTube. And what is that? Host a space.
True. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Use the tools that are native to the platform.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
host a space, make it engaging, make it entertaining.
Is that a premium feature?
No,
It's not.
you could use it right now.
Oh, okay.
But of course things will probably be a change.
Well, I know you can't live stream anymore unless you're premium.
Yeah, unless you're premium. Yeah. But you can host a space. And a space is an interesting topic of discussion to be had. It's live streaming audio where you go ahead and allow the audience to interact with you, and they get on the stage, you give them their 2 minutes of fame or whatever to say something, or a minute, and you move on to the next one. It's a great, almost like, I don't know, it's kind of like a harken back to radio where they used to have the call-in feature, right? Call in, I got something to say, and that's what it reminds me of. I like it, dude. I think it's cool. I've been part of Spurs spaces that have happened.
Never tried that.
It's interesting, man. And that, I think, is a way you can grow your brand without having to go ahead and necessarily say live stream. And it's easier. It's just audio, man.
Yeah.
You could do it right on your phone.
Well, and also it alienates the audience when you're live streaming on, let's say, the X and YouTube, and only the comments that are coming in on the screen are only coming from YouTube. It's kind of alienating to the audience. They're like, well, I'm responding on the X,
Yeah.
but the comments aren't being read. It's like, well, because our platform is YouTube. Go there.
Yeah. And that's the confusing part about it. When you go ahead and you multi-stream, you can see the comments. Like the platform that I use right now is called Talk Now Studio, right? It's by Streamlabs, right? So you can go ahead and subscribe to it. I have a lifetime license. I got into it when it was Melon, and I just was lucky because they offered us a lifetime license to all the guys that got in early. And they say, you pay us $100, you can use the platform for life.
Lucked out, man.
Said, say less, man. Boom. I don't got to pay another dime in my life. And it's owned by Streamlabs, so it's going to have longevity.
Yeah, it'll be there.
So I lucked out, but I'm using the platform. Everybody that, watches us every day, we're using Talk Studio, so we'll talk a little bit more about that on another show. Me, you, and Carl, I'm sure we have a lot to say about it. But nonetheless, man, I got to say, you got to focus your audience. And that's the one thing that we're doing. We're trying to do. We're trying to grow the audience, build a community, engage with you guys every day. Show your comments on screen. We appreciate the super chats because it does help us grow. Instrumental. It's instrumental to our growth.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to focus your niche. You got to be on YouTube, second largest search engine out there. And I think that's what Adam Silver is saying, Pat McAfee is saying. A lot of these other people that have big audiences that are live streaming, they all say the same thing. Why wouldn't you just focus on YouTube?
Yep.
That's the thing. Terrestrial radio is decaying. It's rotting. You don't want to have to use the pay-per-play model. If you're trying to get into this industry, you're trying to go ahead and do a live stream, you're trying to do a podcast, one of the best things you can do is just get on YouTube, grow your audience, start now. You don't need much. You can use your phone, dude, and just put headphones on.
Consistency is the key. Quality, it'll come in the long run, but just be consistent. Make sure your content is engaging, interactive. Your gear, that will come in time. The quality will improve. I mean, look, when you first started out, it didn't look like this on your stream.
Dude.
Neither when I first started out, it looked like ass.
Yeah, we sounded like crap.
It sounded terrible. It's having audio issues left and right.
Yeah. Like we both have studios, right? We all both have studios, but my studio now doesn't look anything like I would have ever envisioned. I had my walls were unfinished here in this garage that I turned into my studio now. Now I have a finished wall, finished room.
Yep.
Have all these toys in here.
These nice acoustic panels over here.
Yeah. It's a nice treated room. You don't hear no echoes.
No, it sounds good in here.
Yeah. And it's because we have acoustic panels on the wall, acoustic panels that are actually the wall. And then we have carpets on the ground to help with all the echo.
I'm impressed. You did a good job, man.
I tried.
Impressive little space you got here.
But what's the one thing that we because we're producers, right? What do we say? We built the car, right? From scratch. So if something goes wrong with it, we know how to fix it.
You know exactly what's going on.
My camera ain't working. I know what's happening. 5 seconds, man. You're back online. And that's the beauty of building your own thing.
Yeah.
Right. You're not going ahead and having somebody else build it for you. And let's look at Tony Ornella says, damn, Mike lost some weight and is more handsome. I'm confident heterosexual married man. Look at that.
Oh, thanks, man.
This Mike doesn't clickbait and he lets Joe talk. Just kidding.
This is Joe's show, man. I'm a guest.
Yeah.
Joe's running the ship.
Yeah, dude, we're just having fun, man. And the thing is, when Mike's here, we have a different topic of discussion. But today, it's all about the
I
producers.
think we lost most of your sports audience there on our nerdy producer
Yeah,
talk.
but I mean, it was fun talking about that. But we'll get back to talking about some sports here because we do have some things that are going to be coming up this weekend. One of those things is going to be the NBA playoffs are going to kick off. And today we go ahead and we do have some games coming that are going to be part of the play-in tourney today, starting at 6:00. You have the Heat and Hawks. I know Spurs fans are hoping that the Heat will best the Hawks.
Mhm.
That way the Hawks lose and increase the Spurs' chances of getting that other pick. You know?
Damn right.
Damn
We
right.
need- We need losses.
And then you have the Mavericks going against the Grizzlies. That's going to happen today at 8:30 p.m.
Go Grizz.
Why? You don't like Nico?
Well, he's gone. He told him to get a shine box, but the Mavs organization, after what they did, they don't deserve to even be in the playoffs right now. And Luka deserves to win it all.
Fire Nico.
He's gone, man. They got rid of him.
Oh, they gave him a shine box.
They're in damage control mode right now. It's like it's the only thing they could do to try to help, put a band-aid on the open gash that is the fandom of the Dallas Mavericks right now.
God. I mean, the thing with the Mavericks is when they went ahead and lost Luka, it's like you're losing your franchise player. That's your future there. What are
Yeah.
you going to do now? You have Anthony Davis, the
You got
glass man.
nothing. You got nothing for him. And when it all comes down, I mean, the dude's friends with everybody in the LA organization. It's a behind the scenes deal. Sorry, Mavs fans, but you got screwed on that one.
The thing is that they're not getting rid of Nico. They got rid of Luka, right? That's the whole thing there. But Mavericks fans want Nico gone.
I thought they fired him.
No,
already.
they hadn't fired him.
Are you sure? I thought I read they fired him.
No,
Already.
they fired. They say fire Nico. That's the chant.
Is that just the chant?
That's the battle cry. Fire Nico, and he hates it. He absolutely hates it. But he doubled down on his take, and he was saying that he doesn't regret getting rid of Luka Doncic at all. He has no regrets doing that. He thinks it was the best thing, and he says to the fans, "Don't go ahead and get mad at me now. Just wait until we start winning again."
Man.
I'm like, you all were in the NBA Finals last year. That's what the fans are expecting. Now you don't have Luka Doncic. He's over there with the Lakers. The insult to injury here would be if the Lakers somehow make it to the finals with Luka and Mavs.
That's
fans
why
are
I
left.
hope that happens. Honestly, you get
You know?
LeBron another ring.
What if Luka gets his ring?
That's what I want.
That'd be
yeah,
like,
I think it would be great.
and Nico's
It
like,
would be great.
just wait, we're gonna win. I promise you.
Nico's gonna get some kickback from the Lakers for that.
Like at that point, they
Yeah.
probably give him a shine box to tell him to get on out of here. You're fired.
Man, I that's who I'm going for though. I'm going for Luka.
Look at that.
I'm not going for the Lakers. I'm going for Luka.
Mexican Junior says needs the Heat to win that one, so Hawks get the pick, get picks into the lottery, or get the pick in the lottery. Yeah.
So the playoff wins affects your lottery chances as well.
At this point, it does with the Hawks, especially. So right now, the Spurs are like they're gonna. I don't know. They have the 8th best odds right now of getting the 8th pick, right?
Mhm.
Because their season's over.
Yeah.
The Hawks are continuing. They have that game tonight against the Heat. The best case scenario for Spurs fans is that the Hawks lose, and that way the Spurs get a higher pick, right? Because they don't want the Hawks to go so high up. They still want to kind of hover around that 15, 16. But if they lose tonight, maybe the Spurs can go ahead and get, I don't know, 13th, 14th pick, maybe out of
That'd
the
be
realm
great,
of
yeah.
possibility. Something could happen there. But right now, Hawks are like 15 or 16. So Spurs fans want the Hawks to lose. That way increases the chances of the Spurs getting that pick, and that way they have 2 picks in the NBA draft, one at 8, one respectively, maybe at 15 or 16.
Mhm. And you should be able to get some good talent with both of those picks.
Jason says Nico pulled the Jerry Jones.
Hey,
And Mexican Junior says if the Mavs win, Memphis goes into the lottery also, which would also push the Hawks pick further down. What is he saying? I can't see what that
says
says.
we kind of need the Mavs to win.
Yeah, kind of need the Mavs to win.
Well, I didn't know that. In that case, let's get the Mavs get further down. Anything that helps the Spurs, I'm all for it.
The thing is, this is the one thing that we've had a topic of a discussion on. And Spurs fans, I don't think they realize the gravity of the situation. And that is, if the Spurs have these 2 picks, where are you going to move around on this roster? They're like, well, we have 2 roster spots. We can easily. It's not that easy, man. At the end of the day, the Spurs are always going to have to go ahead and fill these roster spots. But if you're looking to go ahead and increase your team's value by always going to the draft, you're getting younger and younger and younger.
Mhm.
You have to go ahead and have some veteran leadership. Instead of getting 2 picks, what if they package both these picks in and they either move up in the draft or they go ahead and keep the 8th pick and then they go ahead and move down in the draft by getting like trading away the Hawks pick. That way they can go ahead and draft for need versus
Mhm.
picking best available player. Because right now the Spurs have things that they need to address, and that is size inside the paint because they don't have a legitimate center.
No.
They don't have a backup center.
Mm-mm.
And the other thing is shooting. They need guys that can knock down buckets. They don't have any 3-point specialists. They don't have guys that can be out there knocking
Harrison
down
Barnes is the best
jumper.
3-point shooter they've got.
you know,
That's it.
they don't have anybody. And they need to address these needs. They don't have a 3-and-D guy that can go out there and help guard the wing, put a hand up. And I mean, how many uncontested threes did the Spurs give up this season? I bet it was a lot,
Yeah.
and they need to be able to address these issues if they want to go ahead and contend with other teams in the West that have a better plethora of talent than we do. That's basically, that's at the end of the day. You have Wemby, you have Fox, you have Castle, maybe Vassell, and a bunch of guys. That's it.
bunch of spares.
And they say, "Oh, I love me some Sohan. He has blue hair. He's the second coming of Dennis Rodman. He's all
Who
right, dude.
cares? He hasn't done anything that Dennis Rodman's done.
He can
Dennis
play.
Rodman's a way better player.
He's just the best defender that the Spurs have, and the Spurs aren't very good on defense.
Is he though?
He's the best defender they
Wemby's
have.
the best defender. He's
Wemby's the
second
best defender in the
Yeah.
paint, but
Yeah, yeah.
overall defender that can keep up with the opposing player, that's probably going to be Sohan.
Yeah.
You know,
Who's the second best rebounder on the team? Bismap. In his 3 games that he played.
I don't know, man. That's a tough
That's
one.
the thing. We need someone else who can crash the boards.
Harrison Barnes is the Toyota Corolla, bro. You already know what you're going to get out of him every single night. You
You're
put the
not-
key
yeah,
in the
you-
ignition, DJLG, and you turn it. You know he's going to start every time.
Yeah, but you ain't gonna be passing up anybody on the highway.
No,
No, but you'll be cruising.
you'll be
You'll be
cruising,
cruising right
Gets
at
the job-
at the speed limit.
and that's
Yeah.
his job. He's
Yeah.
going to get the job done every single night. He's
He-
the
he
Toyota
does.
Corolla.
He's a good role player and a good shooter.
Old faithful.
Yeah.
But beyond that, you need some guys that can knock down buckets. Wemby, and I know this might be controversial. Wemby is not your first option on this team.
Mhm.
He's not. He folds like a $5 folding chair, man. When you put his feet against the fire, he goes up against the better talent, Giannis, for example.
Yeah.
He folds. Goes up
Yep.
against somebody else, top tier talent, folds. I think even Anthony Davis bested him too when they went up against the Lakers.
I feel like
He
most of the
folded.
big men have bested him. Yeah.
Folded.
Yeah.
He folds. He don't have that dog in him, dude.
He steps up for the logo 3-pointer
Yeah.
every time.
He doesn't have that dog in him yet. And he doesn't
He'll
have the
get
frame.
there. He'll get there.
He doesn't have the frame quite yet. He doesn't even have a signature move.
Yeah, we talked about that last time I was on
I'm
the
like-
show. Yeah, he doesn't have a signature move. His
And-
signature move is the logo 3-pointer.
Logo 3. Let me go ahead and just block a shot. And that's
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
that's his signature move is the block where he takes it out of your hand and
Yeah.
just it's like a takeaway and a block at the same time.
the Spurs, to me, they still haven't learned to utilize him correctly, and that means that he needs some help. You can't just be standing around and giving the ball to Wemby and let him do his thing, go ISO play one-on-one. He
Mm.
needs some help. You need to go ahead and run a screen, pick and roll action, get him, to move. You need to have some fluidity to your offense. You can't just have guys standing around camped out beyond the arc
Well,
if they can't
that's-
shoot a 3.
That was the whole reason for bringing Chris Paul in, and it did make a change. We no longer had these situations where Wemby's driving to the bucket and nobody's getting him the damn ball.
Yeah.
Chris Paul came in and changed that. He fixed that right away. You saw the improvement on day 1, but he's 40. He's done.
Chris Paul, this is the thing. Mike Jimenez told me before the season started, when the Spurs announced that they got Chris Paul, he says, "You know what, Joe? He says this is a signal showing that the Spurs are punting their season away." I said, "How?" I said, "Everywhere that Chris Paul has gone, he's increased your wins
Mhm.
on the team as a whole." I said, "There's no doubt that he's going to help this team in some capacity, but he's not going to be
The
the
one.
same type of player that he
Yeah.
was, you know?"
Well, yeah, and he's not going to be the catalyst that changes the entire franchise,
No.
for the better.
Yeah.
He's going to improve stuff. He's going to teach and get Wemby the ball when he's open. But the dude's 40.
Yeah.
He's going to run out of gas. He's got a bad finger that gets dislocated like every night,
Yeah.
and he plays through it. But Wemby needs to be the man. He needs to be number one, and he needs to have that dog in him. He's got to develop an under the basket game, dude.
You don't have
Like,
no game. He's that frame. If
Where's
Dylan,
Tim Duncan? Get off your ass and start teaching Wemby how
man.
to play, man.
Now he wants to
Like,
be taught by Hakeem Olajuwon. There's nothing wrong with
And
that.
Hakeem said, "Nah, you'll figure it out." Hakeem was like, "Nah, I'm
I
good.
don't
I
know.
don't
Maybe,
need to
maybe
teach you."
Hakeem will teach him, give him a little dream shake action.
It'd be
or something.
great.
Yeah.
I want to see like him backing people down to the basket, and
He
turn
don't have
around
the
and
frame, dude.
Ah, man,
Dylan Brooks from the Houston Rockets can hold Wemby by himself.
got to do something.
Why?
Man? We got to figure something.
Wemby,
out, man.
Wemby hasn't learned that. You know what? I'm taller than this brother. I could get around him.
Well, he needs to eat more tacos in the morning, or
You know what?
get some-
You know what
get
Wemby
some-
needs? Wemby needs to go find him a Latina that can cook, bro.
He needs to eat
no
some more
lies.
of that French cuisine, the real fat stuff like a foie gras and whatever.
I bet you anything what's going to happen in Wemby in some juncture here, girlfriend he's going to have or whatever, she's going to be Latina.
We'll see.
Maybe
see.
she'll fatten him up. She'll give him some tacos, make him some Mexican dishes.
Well, we don't want him to get too fat. 'Cause
Oh, I don't know. bro.
those knees on those big frames don't last too long.
Look at that. Hakeem would be a sleeper cell, sabotaging Wemby to help the Rockets. Say, oh, Mexican Junior. Sohan is basically Bo Outlaw. Oh, God.
I would say Bo had a better career at this point.
At JHNSB, there he is. He's always saying something negative in some capacity, but I love him, man. He says Wemby is a TikTok highlight player. That's all.
But is he even like? Is it even that impressive anymore? Some of the stuff he does, we've seen it for 2 years now.
I think some of the things he can do at his size are
But
impressive.
it's all because of his size.
Yeah.
Is it skill, or is it just because he's got the size on everybody?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think he has the skill and the size. Like somebody at that size shouldn't have the handles that Wemby does, shouldn't have that speed and athleticism that he does. Because I've seen him there on the court in person, doing his thing, and it's impressive.
It is.
It's
It
impressive,
is.
But the thing is that he has to learn to be able to, you know what? I'm going to put this team on my back and I'm going to will us to victory. He's done that a couple times, but he hasn't done it consistently.
No.
And the other teams have figured him out. They already know his let's say idiosyncrasies, so they've already figured that out. What he'll do is, like I said, it's easy. You can watch this yourself. He pulls up to the paint at the stripe. He's going to start his move. He always pulls the ball to his right hip. Every time he brings the ball to his right hip, he puts his left foot out and he's going to start his move to the basket.
Mhm.
Players have already figured him out. They kind of move away from him a little bit. They let him get in front of that one defender so he can go one-on-one. Another guy that's coming will come from his right side, and they're going to let him start his move because they're going to knock the ball right out of his hand.
That's the other thing too. He keeps the ball too low, man. Like
Exactly.
He'll
Pick
keep it
it up.
down here. Bro, you just pick it up like this. Nobody can get it.
It's a bad habit he has. He always puts the ball
Yeah,
on
he
his
always,
right
he
hip.
always tries to do some kind of dribble step,
Yeah.
and it gets stolen.
Always on the right hip, dude.
It's
and
like
you
you've got a lot of distance there to do one dribble. It's not like a normal NBA player, so there's more time to get the steal. Yeah,
he
I
needs to
hope
do
he
something
improves,
else.
man. He needs to improve.
He needs an inside game inside the paint. He needs to be able to say, you know what? I'm big. I'm going to use my size to my advantage, even though I'm not going to be able to body anybody. You're quicker than them. You
Yeah.
have more length than they do. Use it to your advantage.
If you can't get in the paint and get easy layups and dunks, you need to get that turnaround jumper like Dirk had or like
Yeah.
Kevin Durant has. You
Exactly.
need that, and that needs to be your go-to.
Fadeaway jumper at 7'3", whatever he is.
Mhm.
Who's going to stop it?
Nobody. It's you just throw it. You're throwing it down into the rim. It's like
Yeah.
shooting ducks in a barrel for that guy.
Nobody can stop him at that point. He's going to be unstoppable if he has a signature move, and that could be a fadeaway jumper. No one can stop that,
You
man.
see him try to do it every now and then, and sometimes he makes it, but it's
Yeah.
not consistent.
Yeah, he needs to have that signature move. That's one thing that he does not have.
Yeah. And JHNSB's in here. He says, "Does Wemby have handles and dribbling skills in a game? It's automatic turnover." Yes, exactly. He doesn't. It looks like he handles well in the open court, but you put two defenders on him and they're stealing the ball.
It's going the other way. He's doesn't have the frame, dude.
No.
Doesn't have the frame, but that's why he needs help. The Spurs can't just give him let him be in an ISO situation without trying to help him. You got to free him up in some capacity to let him work.
Yeah.
They're like, here's the ball, do your thing.
I think the best thing that they had working for him this last season was the pick and roll,
Yeah.
and they didn't use it a lot.
No, not at all.
And when they did, it was great. When it was executed perfectly, 2 screens, pick and roll, you do a fake screen on one side, boom. He always got the clear lane to the basket.
Yeah.
And it was either an alley-oop or just a soft layup. But
And-
they go away from that.
And he's a great passer. He has great passing ability. If you have somebody else moving without the ball, cutting towards the rim like a Jeremy Sohan, who does this great. That's one of the things he does great is move without the ball. That's what you need. You need to have that fluidity to the offense. If the focal point is on Wemby, what's everybody else doing? You can't stand around just looking at him. Oh, maybe I'll get the rebound. Maybe I won't. I'm going to shoot a 3. I'm open, Wemby. Give it to me. And the other team, you know what the opposing teams tell the Spurs? Show me. Go ahead and shoot it. I'm not going to guard you. Because they know that the ball's going to miss. It's going to hit the rim. It's going to be a long rebound. They're going to go out there and try to get it. And then it's going the other way. And what happens? Easy 2.
Easy buckets.
Easy money, man.
Easy buckets.
It's this team isn't hard to figure out. It's not hard.
Something's got to change. Something's got to give in this offseason.
And look at that. It says Spurs effed up when they let Chip England walk. Yeah, no,
you're on to
no,
something
nice
there,
detective,
Kenny.
man.
Yeah. Best shooting coach in the NBA.
Now where is he at? OKC?
I don't know. Where's he? He's in Phoenix?
I think he is
Maybe
in OKC. He's somewhere. Mexican Junior. His dribble is too high. He has handles against other
Dribble's
big
too
men.
high. Exactly.
Yeah. And look at that, JHNSB. We saw how many lobs between CP3 and Wemby. Not very many.
Not very many lobs, but he did get him the ball much more than last season when we didn't have CP3. That's for sure.
Yeah. He did help. CP3 did help.
No, you could see it immediately. He helped that offense.
He helped them win 12 more games than they won last season. And I think it's because of his leadership and his experience. He imparted that into this younger squad. He kept them even keel when they were trying to get unraveled, when they were garnering, let's say, their double-digit lead, right? Or they were coming back from a double-digit deficit, and they wouldn't have been able to do that in the years past. That was CP3 out there helping them learn this is what it takes for you to win.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. See the big guy down there? If he's open, throw the ball to him.
Yeah.
That's what he taught them. Yeah.
Yeah. You see that guy?
Yeah.
The 7'3" guy running?
Yeah. See that
Give him
tall
the ball.
motherfucker? Throw the ball to him.
Would have thought that, man. Oh, look at that. It says John Fox tip 199 through Super Chat. He says DJLG is the Russ Fox with CG. What's your YouTube?
What's up, Russ? With GC Roofing. My YouTube is at DJLG210.
There you go.
That's actually that's all my socials. So you can follow me across these social platforms.
You should show it there
at
on the
DJLG210. Oh, does this thing actually work?
Yeah. Is it working?
What do I do? Chrome? Are we chroming?
Yeah. You can use any browser you want to on the laptop. Whatever you see on the laptop, they're gonna see on the screen here.
Alrighty. So don't put my passwords on here, yeah?
Yeah, don't put your passwords on there.
Oh man. I haven't used a Windows computer in so long.
You know how to use the cursor, right? The touchpad.
Yeah, but the control is in a different place than on a Mac. So
that's Windows for you, man. I got to use Windows here because all my equipment here in the studio runs off of Windows.
boom.
You got it up?
Let me get your warranty expiration thing off here. There we go. Yeah, there we go.
There you are.
That is my YouTube page. And I just recently launched a podcast of my own called LG's House. And you can check that out if you want to hear the story about how I fought a hooker one night at a bar. That was the last episode we did. But yeah, check it out. I'm also doing a podcast with the biggest Puma called
Sam
The Sports
Freaks.
Cave, which you can follow as well at Sports Cave Live on YouTube, also simulcasting on my page.
Show his YouTube channel. You just got to do the search and just put the Sports Cave.
Sports Cave Live.
Yeah.
That's the handle. Oh, wait. I feel
The
like these
Sports
keys
Cave
are
Live.
all just Sports Cave Live.
The Sports Cave. Okay.
No D. Live. Boom.
There you are.
And then Puma's got his stuff up there. He's doing a podcast Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, we are live on YouTube. Wednesday and Friday are audio only on the iHeart app and on YouTube.
There you go.
Yep.
Make sure you go and check that out at the Sports Cave and subscribe to that as well.
Please, we need to hit that monetization, man.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing. Once you hit the monetization, he'll be able to do what we're doing here with the super chats.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's coming along there. We got 224 subscribers on the Sports Cave, and that's not bad for something that didn't exist 2 weeks ago. So
It's not bad at all.
yeah,
And the thing is, too, is sometimes you don't even need 1,000 subscribers. We were able to get super chats before we even hit 1,000
Yeah,
subscribers.
it's 500 is the eligibility now.
Well, the thing was, it was watch hours.
Oh yeah, you need 3,000 watch hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our watch hours, we had hit that really early on.
Mhm.
We had like more than 3,000 hours of watch hours. So we were able to monetize.
Well,
very
doing a
easy.
daily show, you're gonna
Yeah.
hit that immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
that
gonna
was
be a lot harder for us on these other channels because we're only doing shows like once a week.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But either way, man, go ahead and make sure you subscribe so you can go ahead and help the channels grow.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So one of the things that we're going to do too, since we have to go ahead and help ourselves grow as well, is we're going to go ahead and give some love to MCS General Contracting, home of the Diamond Hard Concrete. MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business, honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show. There you go. Make sure you go ahead and give some love over here to Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting. They are going ahead and powering the chat that you boys use every day. Make sure you give him a call. His number is 210-774-9155. You can go to him for all your contracting needs, especially when it comes to concrete.
Nice. I saw that they mentioned they can extend your deck in that commercial there.
They can
I
extend
need
your
a deck demolished. I wonder if they can do
Really?
that too. Yeah.
They probably do that too.
Yeah, I might have to reach out to MCS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go out there and he'll get the boys out there and they'll
I
go
want
and
my
take it down.
deck gone. Like I have my backyard when you exit the house, it's elevated.
Oh,
So you have to
okay.
take stairs down to a deck that's also elevated and then down more stairs to get to the yard. I would just like the deck gone and just stairs straight down to the yard.
You're like, that's it.
Yeah. Less maintenance, and I'm not on a platform for all my neighbors to see me. That's the worst.
What are you doing
Yeah.
at night, LG?
It's just awful because it's like the deck is almost as tall as the fence line.
Oh,
So
man.
I'm just literally
You got a stage.
I got a view of all my neighbors' yards. So I just want that thing torn down,
Hey.
man. Just give me a staircase straight down to the yard so I can have privacy.
If you got a stage, you should put the DJ equipment out there. and
I
be all-
should just throw a block party, right?
with all the lights and everything going on.
I could.
You know, tell them, hey, man, I'm your local resident DJ here. I do accept tips.
Oh yeah, just
know?
the tip.
Hey.
Ease it in there.
Hey, I like that, man. We should name that as a new sports bar. Just the tip.
We could open it up in San Francisco.
What kind of logo are we talking about? We'll have Sam Freeze go out there. You know he'd dig that. He'd be laughing, dude.
He'd be down with it. Yeah, down.
Just look at, they're talking about Jeremy Sohan now. Says Spurs need Nas Reed to help Wemby. And they're laughing out loud.
Naz.
It says you need better trees to keep the deck. You need something, man. Do you have that deck elevated and all your neighbors can see you? That's a stage.
Yeah, I don't spend a lot of time out there because of that fact. Yeah. It's awful.
You need a wall, privacy wall, then, if you don't want everybody seeing you.
I do. I need to put up like what does that white stuff that you put vines on? I forget what it's called.
Lattice.
Lattice. There you
Yeah.
go. I need to put something like that with like a vine wall or something.
Do you have the neighbors like off to the left and in the back that can see you like all around the
yeah,
backyard?
I'm surrounded by them. Yeah,
Oh,
all my
man.
neighbors can see me, and some of them have 2-story houses, so they've
Jeez,
got like
bro.
VIP balcony view of me. Yeah,
Man.
I should just start going out there like in like a Speedo and just like letting them view so they stop looking at me. You know, or maybe
Give something to look at, dude. Go out there in the robe and just say, man, balls
Should I
out,
just
dude.
Go out there in helicopter, helicopter.
Go out there and just have a drink or two. You know, hey, y'all want to look at me? I'll show you.
I do that, man, but yeah, I need to tear that damn thing down.
You
And then
get-
it can also help with my appraisal lose some value there because I
Oh,
no longer have a
God,
deck.
dude. We're gonna talk about that. So we got the appraisals coming in now, right?
It's appraisal season. They're happening now.
Jeez, I
Yeah.
wonder what's gonna happen with my home. I brought my home way back when, right? Like
Mhm.
early 2000, 2001. And the value of the house here in this area is just like almost triple.
Mhm. It's
because
growing out here. Yeah.
all the stuff that they've built around here, it's just insane, man. So that means that every year the appraisal comes in and that keeps increasing. And I'm just like, that means more property taxes.
Property
bro.
taxes. Do you protest?
Yeah, sometimes I do. I'm just
See,
like,
I
what
haven't.
the
I
hell?
don't know how. I don't know this. How do you protest? I need help with this because I have yet to protest.
You have to
And
fill out a
every year
form.
it goes up.
Yeah,
every year.
You got to fill out this paperwork, right? And you got to protest and you got to mail it in and whatnot. And they come back and they'll be like, all right, well, they're going to meet you somewhere in the middle. They're going to be like, well, this is what we valued the home at. And you're like, well, no, it's worth this much. This is how much my neighbor's houses are worth next to me. Why is mine worth so much? And you can make an argument for that. And they'll look at it and be like, all right, well, this is what we'll do for you.
Well, my house has deteriorated since I've bought it. It hasn't
Really?
increased in value.
Really?
Well, the house itself. A lot
Okay.
of things are damaged that need to be fixed. Just don't have the funds right now.
Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying either way, man, it's like it's expensive because the more that your house increases in value, the more that you got to pay for the property tax.
Yeah.
man. You got to pay the tax
I'm
man.
house poor.
House poor.
House poor. I have a house, but no money.
Oh God, dude. That sucks though, man. I hate having to pay, not only having to go ahead and deal with appraisal and whatnot, but also having to deal with taxes in general. And
Well,
it was tax
It
season,
was tax day on Tuesday.
the 15th.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And I waited until the 15th to do any of my tax stuff.
I
I
was
literally
guilty.
spent 8 hours going through my bank statements, all my
Jeez,
receipts,
man.
all my mileage, because I'm 100% 1099. So
Yeah.
I owe.
Gas and everything you use
Yeah.
for trips and whatnot. Yeah.
I owed a huge chunk. I was planning a trip to Japan at the end of somewhere in May next month. Not gonna happen now because Uncle Sam came, took my funds.
I told you, man, that my friend, he's over there in Japan right now.
I want to go back. I was just there in December, and I can't wait to get back, man. Like,
Yeah, he's over there for that Star Wars celebration, dude. I'm
I
jealous.
wish I could have been there. They're doing also like the World Expo in Osaka as well, and I think that's where the
Yeah,
Star
yeah.
Wars thing is too.
Osaka, Japan is beautiful, dude.
I gotta go, man. Let's all go, and we'll do podcasts on
Yeah.
the road from Tokyo.
I'll be down for that. I'd be down to get me some Japanese whiskey, man.
Suntory.
Suntory.
Yeah, it's
Over
good.
there, it's probably like on every corner.
Oh,
dude.
it's everywhere.
Yeah.
They got like mixed Suntory. You know how we have like high noon, like mixed
Yeah.
vodkas? They got like mixed Suntory in like the 7-Eleven. You can
That's
get like
nice,
a
dude.
ginger ale and Suntory in a can with a fresh lemon inside the can.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, we're gonna do if I go over
Yeah.
there with you, do some day drinking.
Oh, you'll be out till 5 a.m. We won't just be doing day drinking.
yeah.
The bars close at 5 over there, so
Do bad
yeah.
things happen after 2 a.m. over there?
it depends on where you're at. Maybe if you're in Kabukicho, something will happen.
You're in the city
The
part.
red light district. But
Oh.
yeah.
And there you go. Maybe we just pass by to look.
Oh, I mean, it's right in the general tourist area, so everyone
Yeah.
passes by there. Yeah,
That'd
it's
be
where they have
fun.
the Godzilla statue.
Oh,
Like
okay.
on top. Have you ever
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
that?
yeah.
It's on top of a giant building. It's
Yeah.
Godzilla. It's a hotel Gracery, but that's right in the red light district.
I want to get on the bullet train. I said, if I ever go to Japan, I
I've
got
never ridden that. I've never ridden the bullet train. I've ridden a bunch of trains, but not
Yeah.
the bullet train. The Shinkansen.
I've seen what they do to the people, man, when they load them up there on their subway, their little train.
I've been in. I've been pushed onto that at
pushing
rush
them in there.
hour. Oh, it's awful, man. First time I was there, 2017, I experienced that, and I was wondering why is everybody wearing masks? And now I realize because if you don't wear a mask on the subway, you're going to be snorting the person's dandruff whose head is pushed right into your face because you have no room on the subway.
No wonder
So
they wear the
that's why you
mask.
wear the mask. You're too close quarters, man. Like it's
Like, you can't-
ridiculous.
I can't do that, dude. I'm claustrophobic, man.
Dude, I'll wait for the next train, man. Like if it's like that, I'm like, no, I'm not in that big of a hurry. Like y'all are
No.
going to work. Get on. I'm a tourist. Like, please.
They don't have a lot of cars there, right? Like people don't own cars. They take
No,
the train.
It's all pedestrian. If you have a
Yeah.
car, it's luxury. Yeah.
You're a big baller.
You're a big baller. Yeah, if you have a car over there. Because you don't need one. There's no
Yeah.
point. Everything's built for foot traffic. Everything.
walking.
Yeah.
That's why everybody's so thin over there, dude.
Well, you average 20,000 steps a day as a regular person in
Yeah.
Japan. Yeah. On just an average day. As a tourist, it's more than that because you're going to all these different sites.
How many miles is that?
I have no idea. But I was checking mine when I was there last time, and
Yeah.
it was 20,000 steps per day.
Because I know, like, if I go to Disney, right? And I'll go to Disney, I'll be like, all right, I got to get myself in some shape. I'll start walking and be more active and all that.
You get
On-
conditioning.
Yeah. And so when I go to Disney, I do on average 8 to 10 miles a day,
Yeah. Okay.
you know? And I'm like, I do it and I'm fine.
You'll probably do double that in
Yeah.
Tokyo. If you're hitting all the sites, it's just because of the subways, walking down the stairs, up the stairs.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot.
Yeah.
If you're not used to it, start doing some walking before you go.
Well, 8 to 10 miles a day if you're going to Disney. I mean, you could do that. I could probably do that over in Japan, no problem.
I think you'll be fine
Yeah, I'll be
because
fine.
you're so pumped up on like adrenaline and just
Yeah.
being somewhere else. You don't even realize how fatigued you are until you get back home to the hotel room. You're like, oh, my feet hurt.
Give me a Suntory.
Yeah.
Or they do have some good Japanese beer over there too, man.
Yeah, they do. They do.
What's the steak?
So
What's the steak that they have over there? I wanna try
Kobe or
that.
Wagyu?
The Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe. I heard Kobe is a great place to visit too.
Yeah.
Kobe.
I wouldn't mind trying that, dude. Having that paired with a nice beer.
Oh, it's cheap over there too.
Really?
The Kobe beef and the Wagyu. Oh, cheaper than here. I wouldn't
Of
say
course,
it's cheap,
man.
but it's cheaper than here.
What would it be like over there? Probably what, $50, $60?
Oh, less than that.
really?
Yeah, less than that. You can probably get Wagyu for like $15.
Oh man, that's
Kobe would
nothing.
probably, yeah, I'd say like a really good thick piece of Kobe would probably be around 50, probably.
Yeah.
No more than that. And there's no tipping over there.
Really?
Doesn't exist.
You paint a nice picture, LG, about Japan, brother.
Hey, you know, they've come a long way since Nazi Germany.
Hey, I wouldn't mind going out there, dude, and having some fun.
I want to go. I literally want to go out. They give you 90 days on the U.S. visa, so you
Yeah.
can go stay there for 90 days. I
Well,
mean,
I have
you can't work, but
We have a friend of the show. His name's Taro Katani.
the
right?
super Spurs fan from
Yeah, yeah.
Japan, yeah.
Fluent in Japanese and everything because he's lived over there all his life, most of his life.
Ah.
And he's great when it comes to talking English.
well, maybe he
that's
can
your translator.
I'm actually trying to learn Japanese, and it's difficult.
It is, dude.
Difficult. I'm doing it the stupid way though. I'm like Duolingo.
Oh, Babel.
No, I'm using Duolingo, but I'm also doing podcasts where they
Yeah.
like teach you conversational stuff. Like on my way here, actually this morning, I was
You're
listening to a Japanese speaking podcast to try
It's
to
hard,
learn.
dude, to learn that.
It's
man.
tough, man. It's tough. But I really want to learn it because I'd love to live over there for a little bit.
For 90 days.
If I could work from over there
Work visa?
or do this podcast from over there, I'd stay there for as long as I could. Man. I'd sell my house and move over there.
You're
but-
like,
You just can't stay there longer than 90 days
We
unless
have
you
a
marry
saying.
someone.
we have a saying here. What's your name going to be? Gone.
Yeah. You know, if I hit the lottery, I won't tell no one,
There'll
but
be
there will
signs.
be signs. Yes, there will be signs.
What happened to LG? He gone. It was just like the movie you were watching. I told you to watch next Friday, right?
So
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, after I got home from my DJ gig last night, it was about 12:30. You had texted me, "Hey, remember we talked about next Friday? You never seen
Yeah.
it. Try to watch it." So
Watch
I
it.
saw it was on HBO Max, so I fired it up. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I did get maybe 30 minutes in. So Ice Cube gets to Rancho Cucamonga, and I think he meets the Latin girl next door and the essays.
Carla was her
Yes,
name.
yes. And then he's inside with his uncle smoking on a blunt, and they pass out, and it's like his
Yeah. Auntie there,
yeah,
sugar.
his auntie's trying to hit on him, and I think that's where I fell asleep. But it was pretty funny. And what's cool about it is they go to Rancho Cucamonga, which is where my nephew actually lives in Rancho Cucamonga. So I've been there a couple times, and when they were driving through there, yeah, I was bringing back memories because they got
the arch.
the arch when you drive into the city, and just the landscape behind the houses, because Rancho Cucamonga like backs up against the mountains that are covering the San Andreas Fault.
yeah.
So they're kind of like right next to the fault line right there in Rancho Cucamonga. So I thought that was pretty cool. But
Yeah, but what I tell you, if they have a big one out there, all those houses are going to be falling in that fault,
oh yeah,
dude.
they're gonna fall.
They're gonna be
fall for
gone.
sure.
But no, that's funny, dude. Next Friday is a funny
I need to
movie.
finish it.
Need to
I need to
finish
finish it. It was pretty good.
You saw the
pretty
little
good.
Korean lady they had next door?
She
the
was
neighbor-
great. Yeah,
She's funny.
She's great. Mrs. Ho, Miss Ho,
Hi, Miss
Miss Ho
Ho.
Kim.
She goes, it's Ho Kim. Because he keeps calling her Miss Ho.
You know the way she talks. She's like, "Ah, you motherfucker, this, that,
Yeah.
that." I've actually met Korean women that talk, old Korean women that talk
Yeah.
exactly like that. That's not like they're not stereotyping there. That happens, or they are stereotyping because
Yeah,
it does happen. They
That's
talk
funny.
like that.
that's funny, dude. But that's a great movie. I like watching Next Friday. You got a little taste of Day Day there as well. Saw his girl scratching the car, I'm sure.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Big old key, little pregnant, 6 months
little
pregnant.
pudge.
Yeah,
I like his story though. He says, I saw her, she had a Carl's Jr. burger in her hand. Goes, and I wanted some of that. So he goes, Man, he goes, I pulled over. We got to rapping, and that's how it happened. He goes, worst day of my life.
Oh,
He's
man.
like, I thought she had a little pudge from drinking 40s. She had a little beer in her breath, but she was already pregnant when he met her, dude.
Oh.
She
And,
goes,
and then her friend, the
Baby D.
yeah, baby D.
You haven't
great.
no, you haven't seen Baby D yet. They haven't
No,
introduced her.
I think I did get to that part because I got
Yeah.
to the part where she's like, "Hook me up with your cousin," and then they run away.
You saw Roach then, his white guy. The white guy works at Pinky's. Roach.
Yes. So I
Yeah,
did get past. Yeah, I got to that part.
Yeah.
I passed out right when Pinky pulled up
Oh,
because I remember the last thing in my memory before I fell asleep was the car pulling up and the license plate.
Pinky.
Yeah, and he walks up to the door and the door's locked. That's where my memory stops.
That's one of the best characters of
Yeah.
the whole thing is Pinky, dude.
Nice.
Yeah. And I watched that one last night. I watched Next Friday because work was a little slow.
Mhm.
Thank God, And I watched that, and then I watched Friday After Next, which is the third one.
See,
And that one was funny.
taking
dude.
me down a rabbit hole now. So next Friday we'll be on Max for the next 10 days. They're removing it in 10
Yeah.
days, so I'm gonna make sure to finish it up.
That one's funny, dude. And then Friday After Next, you got to watch that one.
Really?
That's the last one.
Okay. Well, the last one for now.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For now.
They
What's-
have Cat
what's the ne-
Williams.
what's the new one gonna be called?
I think it's just going to be called, I forgot what they called it.
Last Friday.
Last Friday. I
Last
think is what
Friday
it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Last Friday. So check that one out.
Ah,
Look at this. He says, Drew Show says, you can buy an old farmhouse with a few acres for like 30K, restore it, take the train to town.
This is true, but those houses are worth nothing. I have looked into it, Drew, and those houses are not worth a damn. They're not built to earthquake standards. They were built real fast back in like the 60s and 70s.
Out of bamboo.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
They got paper walls, no insulation, and they're just not worth
Bro,
it.
it gets cold in Japan.
It gets freezing in Japan, and it also gets super hot too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you need insulation. But yeah, a lot of people have been trying to buy up these old Japanese homes because they're selling for pennies,
Yeah. Pennies on the dollar.
but they're not worth it. They're selling for pennies because nobody wants them. Even like Japanese parents, when they die, the kids don't want to inherit their old house because it's going to be a burden on them.
Yeah.
It's out in some rural area,
Godforsaken
Yeah.
country.
not insulated, and not worth anything. So it's almost like a lot of people just let it rot. It's
Well,
cheaper to just let it rot than to actually
have-
move in.
The tale of two sides, because I saw a documentary where they were talking about how some of the people that live on the outskirts of Japan, right now, they're just like, I'm gonna sell the land and everything. I just want to move into the city.
Mhm.
Hell with it. I don't want to live this lifestyle. But then you have the younger generation of Japan, and some of these kids are tired of living the city life, so they want to
can
move
see
back to
that.
the country. And then they move back there, and they're like, "Oh, I want to kind of maybe fix the house up and do some make it
ends
look
up
better."
costing them a lot more to fix the house.
Yeah,
than
exactly.
It'd probably be easier just to tear the old house down and rebuild one.
But then you have the tale of two halves, because you want to move back, you want to go into the country because you want the quiet life, you don't want the hustle and bustle of the city, but then you got to get on that train every damn day to get to work, and that's
Yep.
like a 2-hour ride or something like that. Got to wake up super early.
I couldn't do it. I like the city.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a city guy forever. I love being in a big city. It's
I don't know.
something about like the heartbeat, the activity,
The pulse of the
the
city.
pulse of the city, man.
Yeah.
Like I've been to Jakarta, I've been to freaking Tokyo, big
Dubai. You ever
cities.
been to Dubai?
I've never been to Dubai. No,
One of my boys
Yeah.
went to Dubai. He said he loves it. dude.
I'd probably love it. I'd probably like it. I like big cities.
I don't know. you could-
London was great. New York's great. Man,
London always seems like it's just gloom and doom, dude. Like gloomy all the time.
it is. They don't get a lot of sunshine, but
Yeah.
it's like New York, but a lot of old history just sprinkled in everywhere.
Don't they have bad teeth too over in London?
And that's the stereotype. Yeah, I think that's changed over the years. They got bad teeth in Japan too. I think it's
Yeah.
worse in Japan.
Really?
Yeah.
You got so many people there though in
Yeah.
Japan. Everybody stacked up on top of each
Well,
other.
well, they didn't really push braces in Japan for years, so a lot of people don't have like straight teeth. I don't have straight teeth. I never use braces, but
Yeah.
a lot of people don't even care about braces over there. So
Yeah. You ever been to Thailand? Anything like that?
I have. I've been to Bangkok, and I've been to the full moon party in Koh Phangan, Thailand, which is the largest basically beach rave in the world.
Damn.
There's
that
like
sounds fun.
30,000 people gather every month for the full moon party. And if you're familiar with the show White Lotus on HBO, they actually go to the full moon party on that show in this season.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was ridiculous. I don't recommend Thailand for a family trip. Well, unless you avoid
Yeah, certain districts.
areas.
I know.
There's a lot of cool temples and stuff. The food,
You could live cheap out there, dude.
yeah. Oh,
really
you can
cheap.
real cheap,
Yeah.
real cheap.
But they don't sell to foreigners though. They don't let you buy any land there.
No.
Or the Philippines. They don't sell to foreigners. You can rent and you can lease, right?
Yeah.
Your land or apartment or a house, but they will not sell it to you. The only way you're going to be able to get anything like buy land out there is if you married somebody from there.
Well, there's a way. So you're saying there's a chance.
It's going to be a marriage of convenience.
I would love to go to the Philippines. My dad was half Filipino, half Irish.
Yeah.
So I would love to go there and, chase my roots. My grandma's buried
Yeah.
at Clark Air Force Base in the Philippines.
They don't make very much though per year out there, dude. The
They don't
cost of
need
living's
to.
cheap.
They
man.
don't need to, man.
Yeah, cost of living's cheap. It's just high humidity and heat. I mean, I think it's bad here.
Oh, I've been there.
Whew.
You ever been to Singapore? That's the most humid place I've ever been.
God,
You take one step outside, drenched.
drenched.
Yeah, you got to bring like 5 shirts to change.
Isn't
just
that like
throughout the day.
it's a jungle or something?
It's
isn't
in the
it?
middle of a
Yeah,
rainforest. Yeah.
Yeah.
But which makes their zoo one of the best zoos I've ever been to because they just let the animals out. There's like no cages. They're just running around like this is a rainforest. They
Yeah.
got those flying foxes, those giant bats.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They're like, they live here, dude. You're just walking around the trail.
Yeah, it's like it's just like a trail through the woods. It's like, oh, well, there's a freaking tiger. Oh,
Yeah, just don't get too close to him. Don't feed him. Don't run.
monkeys.
Oh my-
Anyway,
Yeah, no, man.
no, but yeah, we need to get your boy from Japan on here to teach me some words. Maybe he can teach me some cool pickup lines or something.
Pickup lines in Japanese.
Yeah. That's a tough egg to crack over there talking to the women when you don't speak the language.
Oh,
It's
what are you gonna say?
and they're so reserved and quiet. It's hard to get them to, open up when there's a language barrier.
Yeah, you can't use Google Translator. That's probably not going to
You
go over
kind
well.
of can, but it's awkward, It's
Yeah.
like
They're
so
going to
you-
want to talk to you. You can't speak their language.
they want to try, but most of them are embarrassed too. And then I'm embarrassed too because I can't speak it.
What are you going to say? What if you say something offensive and they just take off on you? Get up and
That's the
leave.
risk you got to take, man.
Hey, shooters got to shoot, LG.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Shooters got to shoot. Hey, man, we should get Taro on here. Say, teach LG some of the bad words in Japan.
Or when I go out there, we should do a little bit. Meet up with them. Go to a Tokyo Swallows game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about the baseball team.
Yeah,
that got
are
out
you a
there.
fan of Swallows?
I heard about that, dude. I can't believe that. That's the name of the team, dude.
I tried to find a shirt. I went to the baseball stadium. It was in the off season, so there's
Yeah.
no games. I tried to find a shirt that just said Swallows on it,
Oh,
but they
God,
didn't have
dude.
one. They all said like Yakult Tokyo Swallows. Nothing just said Swallows.
I don't think
Damn
they'll
it.
sell you a jersey that just says that, dude.
Why not? It's Japan. They sell all sorts of like tentacles and like
Oh no, man. You probably
you
get
know,
one made down
Tenga
there.
toys and stuff. Like I could probably make one on my own.
It's
but,
the mecca for anime, though,
it's
dude.
the mecca for everything.
I'd be like going to all the anime stores, and I'd probably spend all my money, dude. No doubt.
Are you into anime?
I like anime. Yeah, I've been watching it for a long time.
What's the
dude.
best anime to watch?
The one that I liked a lot is I always loved Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
Right? I love Dragon Ball Z. I liked My Hero Academia.
All right.
You know, I kind of like that as well. But when I was younger, probably the first anime that I ever saw was, I think it was Battle of the Planets.
Oh wow. Never heard of that
Way,
one.
way back when. And that's these guys that were dressed in these weird costumes, right? They were like almost like birds almost. And they had this really cool looking spaceship. And this was like one of the first animes that made it over here to the States. And it would come out of on Saturday evenings right after Hee Haw. Right? I had to watch this god awful Hee Haw. I hated Hee
They
Haw.
were showing anime after
Hee Haw
Hee-Haw?
would come out on Channel 5, bro. And I had to watch that with my aunts and my grandma and everything. And I was like, God, I hate Hee Haw, dude. But then right afterwards, they would have that show come out, be like, yeah, it was worth it, you know. But my grandma and all my aunts and stuff, they were into gambling back then. Because I don't know if you probably don't remember because I'm a certain age. But when you used to go to HEB way back in the day, and you used to spend so much on the groceries, and they get you these little scratch off tickets, and they had the horses racing, right? So you would scratch off these little cards they would give you. And if your pony won, you would win some merch or something from HEB. And I remember my grandma, my aunts, and everybody that was a big thing in the family, man, when I was a kid. Oh, get your cards ready, and we'd be scratching them off.
I wish they still did that.
See if your pony won. You know, you win some money or something. Yeah. It would come out before Hee Haw.
Sounds like a much better promotion than the Buddy Dollars.
Oh, the Buddy Bucks?
Yeah. Get out of here. Such an
Dude, that's just a gimmick to get you back in, dude. You go and you get your kid goes and puts the Buddy Bucks in that stupid machine or whatever, and what are you gonna win? You know, some type of prize. Then you got to go stand in line to get it. No, man, I hated doing that stuff, dude.
So I just recently started dipping into anime. The first anime I ever watched was Ninja Scroll.
Okay, that's not a bad one.
Which was great.
Yeah,
you know, back in early 2000s, I saw that. But just about a week ago, I was like, well, what's a good anime for someone who doesn't watch anime? And everything online on the Reddits and whatnot.
Yeah,
they told me to watch Death Note.
Death Note isn't bad.
Yeah, they said Death Note is the best way to get into anime.
Okay,
and so I watched like 3 episodes of Death Note. It's on Amazon.
Yeah,
and I'm totally sold, man. Like it's good.
You like Death Note?
It's good. Yeah, I did.
What about Yu Yu Hakusho? You never saw that?
Like I said, I've only seen Ninja Scroll and Death Note.
Any
I haven't seen any of these Studio Ghibli's or any of that stuff.
No, it's a series, man. Yu Yu Hakusho is from back in the day, dude.
No clue.
Ranma 1/2?
No clue, but I'd like to understand it. So when I go back to Japan, I actually know what the hell I'm looking at, you know, because they're everywhere and I don't know what it is, but everyone else does.
Part of the culture, man.
Yeah, it is. It's deep in the culture.
It's
weird.
They have this one cool little spot, dude. If you ever go to Disney, right? Like I like going to Disney World over in Florida. So my favorite park is probably going to be Epcot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like Epcot because you could do some day drinking, dude. And if you stick with me and if you're not drunk by the time you hit the Mexican pyramid, something wrong with you. Because we're going to stop at every land that we go to. And we're going to have partake of the food, a little snack. And they also partake of the drink that coincides with that. So there you have like several drinks you can take. So you're like, all right, I'm going to do 1 drink, 2 drinks. Then you go to the next one, do 1 drink, 2 drinks.
You're a Disney
Third
veteran over here.
1 drink, 2 drinks. By the time you get to the pyramid, bro, you're like, I'm feeling good, man. And the thing is, when you get into the Mexicans part, right, when you go into the pyramid, they have a tequila bar, dude. And the people are always going towards, the middle because they want to go to the market and all. It's like a flea market. Okay. No big deal here. So I go to the right. I stick to the right and I go to the tequila bar. And I'll pull up there and I'll be like, yeah, man, let me have a sample of this. Let me have a sample of that. Then you do a shot or 2 of tequila. Bro, you're toasted.
This is in the Epcot Center?
Epcot, bro.
Wow.
I'm telling you, Epcot's fun, dude. It's a happening place. It's not for the kids so much. It's more for the adults. But they have the German area. They have the Chinese area. The Japanese area is where it's at, man. I dug the Japanese area over at Epcot. And I went about 2 years ago when they were for New Year's, right? So me and the family went for New Year's. Bro, they could throw a party over there, man. The Japanese area was happening. They had a DJ, the stage, the lights happening everywhere. I mean, it was a happening spot, man.
I haven't been. I think I went there in like 1993 to Epcot Center, and all I remember is Michael Jackson had a show there called Captain EO, and it was the craziest thing ever. It was like an interactive. He wasn't really there, but it was like a interactive movie show they would do, and Michael Jackson was like this space like military guy, and he was exploring like all these aliens and stuff. It was the weirdest thing ever. Yeah,
no, man, you gotta. If you ever get a chance to go with me, dude, I gotta take you to Epcot and do the day drinking tour with me. You'll be.
We're gonna go on a field trip to Disney, huh?
Dude, you're gonna be messed up, man. And this is during the day, mind you, not even at night yet. You haven't even gotten to the night. The whole thing they have at night, they have like this big old firework display. And the cool thing is like they shut everything down, start bringing it to a close a little bit at night. And then you're out there and then they have other drinks and other offerings that they have as the night starts to unfold. So then it's like, okay, now we could really have some fun and let
This
loose.
doesn't sound like a kid's park.
No, dude, I'm telling you, Epcot's the place to go, dude. You have a lot of
Alright.
fun there.
All
A
right.
lot of fun. And you can try stuff from all over the world. They're having like Moroccan drinks and Moroccan food and all
Ooh.
that. It's like, I like me some
I like-
Moroccan
I've-
food,
I've
dude.
been to Morocco. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
It's a
you know,
nice place.
I like some of the drinks they have over there too. I tried
Tagine.
that.
The
Yeah.
tea is amazing.
Tea is
Yeah,
good.
the
Yeah,
tea,
I like the
mint
tea.
tea.
I did that, man. But there's a lot of offerings over there. But I'm telling you, man, if you try to do the whole thing in one day and you drink at every single spot, there's no way you're gonna make it through it, dude. You're gonna be drunk. You'll be passed out on the bench somewhere. That'd be the end of you.
I didn't know you were such a big Disney guy.
No, I like Disney, dude. I like going. I don't go all the time, but when I go, I make it count. I like staying at one place. It's called the Boardwalk. The Boardwalk is a happening spot, dude. It's like
Okay.
a 2030s take on like the New Jersey Boardwalk.
Okay.
From back in the day?
Jersey Shore or
Yeah, like
Yeah.
from back in the day, the 2030s Boardwalk, New
yeah,
Jersey
like Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Nucky.
Yeah,
yeah,
Nucky
yeah,
Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like that, dude. And they have like a nice
Atlantic
restaurant.
City.
Yeah, that's what the vibe gives off, right? And they have a whole bunch of places you could eat and drink at. And at night, the whole place turns into Party Central, dude. They have karaoke bars. They have all these bars going off. You can go and walk around the whole venue and go and visit the other properties, and they have parties going on, DJs out there and whatnot. Telling you, man, it's a lot of fun, dude.
One day. One day.
One day. You could do the tour of the world in one day, DJ LG. You don't got to go to Japan. I just take you to
Yeah,
Epcot.
I'd almost rather just go to Japan.
You like to travel, man.
I feel like you'd spend just as much money.
No, I think I'd spend more money in Japan.
Really?
I'd spend more money in
I don't
Japan.
know. Disney's
Plane
pretty
fare.
expensive.
But the
Well,
thing-
yeah, the airfare alone. Yeah.
my boy Taro told me one thing, and I always remember this. He's like, if you ever come to Japan, don't fly coach. He said it'll be the worst flight of your life.
I've never flown anything but no, I flew first class one time to Japan from Bali to Tokyo.
He goes,
was
it's
amazing.
just you're not comfortable.
No, well, it's from LA. It's like 12 hours or something like that.
From San Antonio to Tokyo is a long.
It's long.
flight,
Well,
dude.
there's no direct, so you got to stop in
Mhm.
Houston, LA, San Fran, Denver, or something like that.
16
So yeah, it's gonna
hours.
take you. Last time I went, I stopped in LA. It took me 21 hours
Jeez.
total travel time.
I can't imagine sitting in a coach seat for that long.
Yeah, it's no joke, man. When I traveled to Indonesia, man, it's 29 hours.
That's too long.
29
dude.
hours.
What do you do?
yeah. Watch movies.
I can only watch so many movies. You better have
Sleep.
some drinks on there. or
Oh, they got
something, man.
drinks. Most international flights, the drinks are free.
Yeah.
The alcoholic drinks are free.
Yeah, because I mean, what else are you gonna do?
If you fly Japan Airlines, they got wine at the back. You can pour yourself. Like
I don't know about partaking of the wine. They got any whiskey? That'd be my jam.
they got it. They got it. The
wine-
service is so much better on the Japan Airlines.
Oh
like
yeah, that's what I've heard.
yeah, it's
That's
way
what I've
better.
heard.
The drink surface is constant. They're just like
Yeah.
on a constant rotation the entire flight.
I heard Alaskan Airlines is nice to fly.
Never
too.
flown Alaskan.
They give you drinks out there too, man.
I heard Qatar is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Emirates.
Oh,
if-
okay.
If you want to go to Dubai, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, my boy's been to Dubai. He says it's a nice place to go, man.
Atlantic City Boardwalk.
Yes,
Yep,
sir.
the home of Nucky Thompson.
Yep. All right, man. We're gonna go ahead and start bringing the show to a close here because I got to get to work.
Yeah, we almost went 2 hours.
Almost
dude.
went 2
Damn.
hours. It went by quick, dude. We went off the rails, but you know what? That's what happens when we have an all producer show. We talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about.
That's what's up, man.
So y'all got the Sports Cave coming on tonight, don't you?
Nah, we're gonna 8 p.m. on Monday. Or 8 p.m. Monday, Sports Cave live on YouTube with the biggest Puma and myself.
There you go. But on the weekend, if you got something you want to go ahead and watch, go ahead and take a look at LG's new show he's got coming out.
Actually, I'll be doing a podcast today at 3 p.m. I'll be
Damn.
doing LG's House with my good friend Gary Snyder and
Nice.
get you ready for the weekend. And who knows what we'll get into. You know, we don't pigeonhole ourselves into one topic,
Yeah.
you know, or one genre. Whatever comes up, comes up.
Yeah,
Yep.
LG's house. Go check it out, man. Subscribe.
Yep.
Help him grow the channel, man. All right. So we'll see you boys on Monday. We're out.